On today's episode of the Backyard Podcast, we have Jason from the Minorities, a social media sensation and a Sacramento legend. You guys are in for a treat. It's going to be a good one. Enjoy. Welcome back to an episode of the Backyard Podcast. I am your host, Marcellus Howard, and we have a very special guest today. He goes by the name of Jason.
From the Minorities.
One half of the Minorities. You see the hoodie in the background right here.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Oh, man, come on. I'm always supporting.
Appreciate that.
My boy, appreciate you pulling up on me.
All good. This is a Backyard Podcast. You know, I had to touch down.
Yeah.
We had to talk our shit and get into these sports, get into this life seat mentality.
Come on, man. Kobe mentality or Bron mentality?
Oh.
Is there a Bron mentality?
I think so.
There is?
I think maybe not so a mentality, but maybe so the way you handle business.
Businessman.
Take business, be more business minded. Because one thing that I think about athletes, because I was an athlete at one point, and I feel like growing up, all you do is dedicate yourself to the sports.
Fact.
Sports. But realistically, 33 to 35, if you're lucky, you're probably going to be out the sport, whatever sport that you particularly choose. 30, 33, 35, that's really hella young.
Hella young, bro. You think about it. It's still young, but not in sport terms.
Yeah. So it's like you give your whole life to the sport, and now it's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I feel like a lot of athletes have a hard time doing is what's life after basketball? What's life after whatever sport that I particularly choose? That's why you see a lot of people getting into media, YouTube, things of that sort. So I think that's one thing that he gave a lot of people knowledge of or to be aware of. There's life after whatever sport that you choose.
100%.
So start getting into the business while your name is at the height of its career in terms of whatever sport that you're playing. But that's what I think LeBron is.
It's actually like a great explanation of it.
That's what I personally think.
And you're a LeBron fan, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man, come on, put it there, partner.
Absolutely. I really think that he is the greatest of all time. Like the greatest. Jordan, I got respect for Jordan, but if it wasn't for the shoes, let's be honest, we probably wouldn't really be talking about Jordan.
I'm
He's
not
6-0.
I'm not mad at that.
He's 6-0, and I give it to him. But LeBron, he's different. He went to the finals 8 straight years, and I understand he lost probably 5 out of those 8 straight. I understand that. But that's still an accomplishment within itself.
100%.
I was talking to somebody, the homeboy Carl, the other day, right? And this is what he said, and this is blasphemy, total blasphemy.
Okay.
He said he went to the finals 8 times and lost more than half of them. I'd rather not go to the playoffs. No, he said, I'd rather not go to the finals than lose in the finals.
What?
That's what I was thinking.
So you rather lose in the first round and not make the playoffs and go to the highest stage and play against the best competition?
Yeah.
That makes absolutely zero sense.
It's like going to the Super Bowl, going to the finals, Stanley Cup. These are accomplishments. We're gonna be demoted for going to the highest pinnacle of the sport. I understand we didn't win. Yeah. I understand, but this is the highest pinnacle of our sport, and you're gonna bring down my legacy because I lost.
Think about this though. To even elaborate, the logo, Jerry West, is 1-9 in the finals.
And they really need to change the logo, I'll be honest.
I think he even said that they can change it.
Yeah, I'd rather have Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. Preferably LeBron.
Damn, preferably LeBron.
Preferably.
LeBron with the little the tomahawk. Look, that'd be fire.
Oh, that would be nice. But it's like Jerry West. Why are we such in prehistoric times?
Can't believe it. And the NBA said that's Jerry West isn't the logo. It's just a silhouette of NBA player. I said, come on, bro.
Who was the logo before him?
I think it was the ABA.
Who was the ABA?
I don't know.
What is that a player? Is that a league? What was the ABA?
It was before the merger, I think, before the ABA, NBA. So I honestly don't know who the NBA logo is, but it's been 75 years. So before Jerry, I honestly don't know. That's a great question. I'm about to look that up.
Got to look that up.
But speaking on sports, you said you played sports in high school?
Oh, yeah. High school, elementary school. In high school, particularly played football and track. That's all I did in high school.
Okay.
Now, when I was a kid, football and baseball. I was a baseball king.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You grew up in Sacramento, right?
Pocket Little League.
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Are we the same age, right?
Yeah. Class 2014.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I played Pocket Little League.
Pocket Little League.
Hold on.
And I'm not playing. I was him.
No, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. At 12 years old, I was Pocket League MVP. Got the trophy at my mom's house. It's like Jerry Odo Award
I have the same award.
for league MVP. I'm just saying.
I have the same award.
For what year? How old were you?
We were the same age. So I got that year. I got the award when I was in the 7th grade, but it was the 6th grade year that I got the award.
So that means you must have got that right before or after me.
I'm pretty sure it was after you because I don't remember ever seeing you on the baseball field with me. You know Benjamin Belasco.
I know him.
You know Tiger.
I played with Tiger.
So Tiger was on he was on the team that I got the award on, but I just didn't get the award till because it's an all-star league, right?
100%.
You're the MVP of the all-star team that you chose that you're on.
Pretty much like so after All-Stars, the very opening day, they give you the award.
Yep.
So after traveling All-Stars, that was our 12 and under team. And I think the year after that was 13 and under, or it might have been 11 under, and then it was 12 under. But I remember that Pocket All-Stars team, we lost to, I think, was it East Tahoe?
They were raw.
Super raw. Had a lefty pitcher who was like 6'2", throwing heat. And opening day happens, and I'll never forget it. I pull up, and I have a black eye. Because I was playing basketball, and a dude crossed over, and we literally collided heads. And I played with these Oakley glasses that the umpire was saying I can't play because they're too dark, but I said I have a black eye, so the sunlight hurts. And I was like, Dad, I don't even want to play opening day. Like, it's whatever. I'll just wait till like the second game, third game.
Opening day. You don't want to play?
Because I was really him. You feel me? I was shortstop, the best position on the field, and I didn't pull up. I mean, I didn't want to pull up. My dad was like, no, you have to pull up. I wanted to play in the Hardwood Palace tournament with the Yellow Jackets. And he knew the whole time I was getting an award, so that's why I had to go. So I had no clue. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm actually him in this baseball world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's exactly how I felt. I really didn't know I was going to get the award, but when I got it, I was just shocked.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was him. Why wouldn't I get it? I'm
what
shocked.
position did you play?
Center field.
That's actually one of the hardest positions, too, because you have to cover so much.
I was running the outfield. I was making plays for the left field. That's how raw I was.
You was going to left field catching?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just because I couldn't rely on the left and right field. I just had to make the play myself.
Because if you can't, you know what I'm saying, trust somebody else, do it yourself, man.
Exactly. I had the speed to get there, so it's like, I'm going to just make the play. Call you off. Hey, man, just run back out just go back to the dugout. I'll make the play. Don't even worry about it.
What order did you bat?
Lead off, and then...
Ooh, that's the toughest. That's lead off and fourth are toughest.
Yeah, lead off. Never was 3 or 4. I know 3 and 4. Well, really 3 is like, you're really him if you're 3.
No, if you're 3, like that's like the how can I compare it to basketball? Like being the number 3 is like pretty much being number 1.
Yeah, you're the leading scorer if you're number 3 on the batting rotation.
That's a fact.
So I was 1 and 6. When I had my cold streaks, he put me down to 6. Rarely had a cold streak, but 1 and 6.
So 1, you were bunting, or were you trying to get base knocks?
No, hell no. I wanted to cram that motherfucker.
Oh, my bad. Okay, respect.
I wanted to cram that. No matter what, I really wanted to get home runs, but
yeah,
lead off, just get on base.
Yep,
that was the objective. He said, no matter what, just get on base. Where you get hit by a ball, take 4 balls, or just get a base hit, just get on base. I don't care where you get on the base, just get on the base.
And were you good at stealing bases?
Oh yeah. I was nasty. I was so nasty. I used to steal home.
No shot. So wait,
bull.
So in pocket, we got to the age where we could lead off the base. Were you leading off and stealing home, or it was on the base?
When
still?
I was stealing the base, you couldn't get off the plate, or you couldn't.
That's off. Different.
Yeah.
So you couldn't lead off. You had to stay on the plate back then.
I was nasty.
Goodness gracious!
Like I was nasty.
Stealing home.
Yeah.
It must have been a wild pitch.
No, it was a wild pitch. You can't just steal home when the catcher is right there and catches the ball. But it was a wild pitch. But yeah, I was stealing home.
So when you got to the age where you were able to lead off, were you doing delayed steals?
No. I feel like the higher, the bigger their age, the better the players are.
Fact.
So wild pitching was less of a thing. It still happened every once in a while, but no. When I was younger, playing in like the 11, 12-year-old league, I was going crazy stealing home. But once I got to that 12, 13, not too many wild pitches. Because,
dang, I kind of feel like we've played each other then. We've had to. If we grew up playing pocket together, we've had to play each other. but I can't remember like pinpoint it. But one thing I do remember about Pocket Little League though was one thing I did respect is that there was usually good games at least once every two. Like one of every two would be a good game. Yeah. And I remember I got hit for the first time. So I want to ask you about when you got hit for the first time. I remember it like it was yesterday. This specific one was against my cousin, lefty pitcher. I had switched my stance for that day. I was hitting open. I don't know why. Open to a close. I don't know why I was doing that. He threw a legit like 60 mile an hour, hit me in the left cheek.
Damn.
And then since then, I always backed up off the plate.
No, yeah, that. So you used to crowd the plate.
I used to be a crowder, bro, because my dad always taught me if you can crowd the plate, it's harder to throw. Yeah. Because you're like, you don't want to hit them, but it's also harder to hit because in order to hit, the ball has to be a little bit outside the plate. Yeah. So then I started to back up a little bit.
Yeah. First time I got hit, I remember it. I was crying like a little ass baby. I didn't play the rest of the game. I had to go to the hospital. Basically, he hit me like right there. No, he hit me right there. And I was in a sling for about a week. Damn. And it was terrible. And ever since then, really, that's what took. I never got hit by a ball. The first year I played baseball, never got hit by a ball. Second year, and I think I was 13. This is like 7th grade. And when I got hit by the ball, I didn't like it.
It don't feel good.
Yeah, I didn't like the feeling. I didn't like getting hit by the ball. So it was like, this is a possibility when you play the game. Yeah. So if this is a possibility and I don't like that feeling, is like, damn, I don't think baseball's for me. Truly, I don't think baseball's for me. That MVP stuff, that's cool. But that feeling and being in that sling, I didn't like that.
100%.
I didn't like it.
Did you play Pony?
No.
The 14U?
No.
That was my last time playing.
The last time I played was, I want to say it was majors.
Ooh, so that's 12, 13 under. 12 and 13 under, I think, right?
I played, I think, 7th and 8th grade. And then once I got to high school, went to Kennedy. Yeah. And high school ball is totally different.
It's way different.
High school ball is totally different from a little league. Even traveling, baseball teams are totally different from little league.
100%.
Little league is borderline like BS.
It's like T-ball on the low.
Yeah, low key.
100%.
And I thought I was him. And this is a kid who MVP of the All-Star team. Blah blah blah. It doesn't mean nothing once you get to high school.
Yeah, because you start at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, and then it's like you're 14, and then you're getting pitchers that are 16, 17. They're throwing gas.
And mind you, the mound is further back, and so like they get more time for that speed to pick up. Oh my gosh,
it was nasty. And then 14, I didn't even make it to the preseason of the baseball, and I just stopped playing, and then I transferred over to football.
So football. Let's talk about that a little bit. What position did you play in high school?
Receiver, and that's it. I didn't even play defense. I was strictly an offensive weapon.
You had routes? Come on, man. It was nasty.
It was nasty. Like my footwork was impeccable. My routes, I was like literally always open. You know, like 7-Eleven, like it's always open.
It's always open.
They're always open, except for that 1 hour.
Fact.
1 hour they're closed. And one play here or there, I might have not been open. I might have got clamped one play, but the other 38 plays, I was open all the time, like literally.
And you played 4 years there?
No. Went to Kennedy for like a year and a half. Middle of my sophomore year, transferred to Sheldon. And this was when I don't know if it's still the same, but when you transfer back then, you had to sit out like 4 or 5 games.
That's it? I think so. It used to be. I think first half of the season for some people. Some people couldn't play at all if they couldn't get. I think it was like their transcripts or something approved. But 4 or 5 games, that's kind of light. That's not bad. That's not too bad.
4 or 5. There's only 10 games in the football season.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm thinking.
So you're damn near missing half the season. You're damn near missing half the season. So I got a slow start on that. That was junior year. When you miss half the season, it's like the first half of the season, they don't need you. Yeah. They're damn near not even putting you in the ones or the second team because you're not going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had a lot of scout team, but I was him in the football stuff too. Senior year was cool, went crazy. Got injured a couple times here and there. Nixon, I got to drink more milk. Had to drink more milk.
I don't think milk actually builds strong bones. I think that's a myth.
Teachers lied to me?
100%. If we're being honest by the book, there's kind of really no correlation with milk building strong bones.
So why do they lie to you?
They kind of debunk that. I don't know. It's like the biggest, not a Ponzi scheme. It's like one of the biggest myths, because if you look at, you walk on the hallways in school, you see the milk mustache.
Yeah, you got milk. Bones. Yeah.
But in reality, milk's not the best for you, and they're lying about what's in it. So it was kind of just like a money scheme. Like, they want to get their money. So if schools are buying milk from companies every year on the dime, milk companies are making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
The same people that own these milk companies are like part owners with like the Dairy Queens and McDonald's, like the fast food chains of the world, right?
Yeah.
So like, why are fast food chains and people that own those promoting milk to kids at a young age? They're already programming us to be like, oh, we need milk to build strong bones, which is actually cap. So if you didn't know, milk is it's actually cow pus.
Cow what? Pus?
Cow pus.
Like pus that comes out of your ears? If you
like, just think about this. Cow pus, like sometimes it's bloody and all that, and then they kind of like whiten it with chemicals and everything.
But when you see somebody milking a cow, it looks white.
Yeah, those like the natural people, but you gotta think they gotta feed milk to millions and millions and millions of people. So they're not gonna sit there and utter for each person. That's like if you own your own
so
cow.
It's borderline fake milk.
Borderline real fake milk. And I'll go one step further. It's cow pus. It's not good for you. And even the almond milks that they make.
That they currently make?
Yeah, the oat milks that they make. If you look, I only drink 2 certain brands. I think it's like one Tree something and one's like almond milk. So if you look on the back of a almond milk carton or oat milk carton, and you see almond milk or oat milk as an ingredient, that's a red flag. Why would almond milk be an ingredient in almond milk? What's supposed to be the ingredient is, I have an almond milk. It's called almond milk. It's supposed to have 2 to 4 ingredients depending on the flavors. So it's supposed to be almond, water, salt, and then like vanilla, or if you have vanilla. But usually it's just supposed to be almond, water, salt.
So they're putting almond milk in almond milk, selling it as almond milk when it's really not almond milk.
I'm telling you, go to a store, and if you have almond milk at home, or go to a store and look at almond milk, look at the back of the carton. You're like, why are all these ingredients in almond milk? And why is almond milk an ingredient?
Wow. It's
literally the craziest. So I stopped drinking like the Silk, all the stuff that has almond milk as an ingredient. Now I just have stuff that has 2 to 4 ingredients.
Silk is a popular one.
And almond milk's an ingredient in that.
There's so many schemes, Ponzi schemes, insurance scams.
Come on, bruh.
There's so much things that the government is doing, and it's like, we just believe in the government, and it's like, you can't believe everything the government's doing.
Jason, you know what's crazy though? We believe in the government so much that we believe the dollar has a value.
It has no value.
It's no longer backed by gold. It's now fiat currency. So the dollar is worth whatever they say it's worth. Yeah, that's worth $100 because we say so.
Yeah.
And it's
gas
starting to
goes
plummet
from $3
anyway.
to $6. Why?
Because we say so.
Because we said it.
Pretty much. Inflation, right? So now inflation happens when they're printing more dollars. So it's like the dollar value is becoming almost obsolete. I think in the next 10 years, dollar will be worth like 20 cents.
That's one thing that I remember I was talking to my grandpa a while back. He was saying that he was saying back in the day, like if you had $100,000, you're damn near like 100 millionaire. Like you have millions of dollars if you have 100,000 back then.
Fact.
But now if you have 100,000, it's like, it's a lot of money, but it's not as impactful as it was back then.
Fact.
So yeah, inflation, there's more money out there, more money being printed. Burning money is illegal. So it's like, man, it's so much crazy stuff going on in this world. And I really just realized you have to preserve yourself as much as possible and just take care of you and yours.
100%. Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I realize is I can't look out for everybody.
Fact.
Like I just can't.
You literally and physically, mentally can't.
I can't give a homeless man $1 every time I see a homeless person.
Yeah.
And just because you go past a homeless person and don't give him anything doesn't make you a bad person
at all.
So it's like, yeah, you really just got to look out for yourself. I'm not opposed to being a good human.
Yeah.
Because being a good human, I feel like is a very important thing to have, especially in like the world that we live in right now. But I think it's better to be a good human to the people that are closest to you, like family.
Very important.
There's some people who treat their family like shit.
I will never understand that, ever.
It's like you treat your family like shit, but then when you see your employer, your boss, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing today? It's like that makes absolutely no sense.
Talk about it.
It makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, I think that's just crazy. People's morals, values, they just diminish. And I really don't know why it diminishes, but it's like, what do you think it means? What is the American dream? What do you think it is?
To me personally, I had to do some research on this and really like dissect what American dream to me meant. And the American dream isn't being an NBA superstar, isn't being an NFL superstar, isn't being a celebrity. That's like the top 1%. The American dream is more people like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, people who are analysts, like who can work their way up to something without having the physical skill sets, but the mental skill sets. So I feel like the American dream is more obtainable. People always say, the American dream is to be LeBron or Michael Jordan. That's like the 0.1% of the entire universe, entire world in history.
Yeah.
It's more obtainable to be a Stephen A. Smith because you can work your way up from nothing to something. Eric Spoelstra because you can work your way up. I feel like that's the American dream, being able to work towards something rather than having the physical attributes. What do you think on that?
That was one thing that I was thinking, right? So when people, let's say people from out of the country, I have a Russian homie. He said his parents.
He be on your videos.
Yeah, Serge, the homie Serge. Shout out to Serge. Yep. He said when his family came out here, they wanted to pursue the American dream. And I asked him, what's the American dream? When they were coming over, they thought, you think the American dream, like you said, the glitz, the glamour, celebrities, this and that. Oh, I would love to be like him. Boom, boom, boom. But really, what I truly think it is, I think it's ownership. When the Asian community, they migrated to the U.S. and you see who owns these liquor stores, these gas stations. Right. It's ownership in owning things instead of being a consumer. How about we just put out whatever that we want to put out? That's really what I think it is. Owning land, owning a business, and then once you own a business, employ your people. Yes. Your brothers, sisters, moms, friends. Put your people in a place to where they don't have to go work for a corporate America. And sorry to say, when you work for corporate America, you're gonna get fucked.
Almost 100%, 1,000% of the time.
Yeah. And I worked in the food industry for about literally 2 days.
Where'd you work?
I worked at I don't know if I want to put them on blast, but
you don't gotta say if you're not, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll just bleep it out real quick. But it was no.
I'm not gonna bleep it out.
Oh, you're not gonna bleep it out?
It's live.
Okay. Well, Scott's Seafood.
No,
sorry.
you had to say it. Oh, damn.
Sorry. The homie put me in a position to get a job at Scott's Seafood. I was training for a day, and then I remember after it, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this every day. Yeah. Now, that might have been weak-minded. That might have been selfish. That might have me just being me giving up. But I literally just couldn't do it. Yeah. Not even the food industry itself is, I only worked in it for a day, so I can't even speak on it too much, but I just felt like I was being took advantage of. And it's like, if this is what it feels like to work at this kind of establishment, and it was a nice establishment. Yeah. This is a 5-star restaurant, but there's just so much stuff that goes into it. And if you work there, I applaud you, because that industry is a hard industry to work in. Yeah. And if you enjoy it, we all got to make ends meet somehow, some way. Yeah. So for those people that do it, I applaud you. Definitely not for me. Definitely not for me.
I think you made a good point there. Something that you couldn't do, it's not for you. Yeah. And I don't think that's necessarily a weak-minded or that's a bad thing or you feel like you're above something. It's just knowing that what works for you may not be what works for somebody else. So you working under somebody may not be what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And doing the stuff with Zeb and the minorities, you guys are your own bosses. And I feel like that's also part of the American dream. Like you said, ownership. You get to own. Yeah. You get to own what you do. And that's the beauty in being an entrepreneur. That's the beauty in being able to move how you want to move. And on a side note, I just want to also give you guys your flowers, you specifically, man, because growing up in Sacramento, we don't have the LA popularity, to go model, to go do acting, to be in the spotlight every day. But when you can make your own lane in Sacramento, I feel like to be 100, you can do anything in this world. And there's very few people from the city. You got you guys, myself, the Keith Powers of the world. And then we got the NFL people like Eric Armstead, Shaq Thompson, NBA, DJ Wilson, Marquise Chris, like the pros and all that. I feel like if you can make something happen in Sacramento, then the sky's the limit. Like I feel like this is one of the hardest places to become something because we don't have the resources. Yeah. And it's the capital of California. Yeah. Which is crazy.
And that's one thing that it's like the YouTube thing. When we first started, I believe it was about 7 years ago. So this is like a year after we graduated high school. So this is 2015. Yeah. YouTube then is totally different from YouTube now.
Talk about it.
So different now. And it's like people used to go on YouTube to either watch music videos, look up how to do something.
Yes.
But actually watching YouTubers wasn't really a thing.
Very true.
And I remember the biggest YouTuber when we first started was a YouTuber called Big Beto. It was an Asian guy.
Okay.
I
don't know.
No. So
elaborate.
He made like comedy skits.
Okay.
And he was extremely funny. But to fast forward, it's like compared to it then to compared to it now, it's like not to say that everybody wants to be a YouTuber, but it's like, oh yeah, I could do the YouTube thing. I see Jason, I see Zeb, I see Marcellus doing, I see this guy doing, I see this guy doing it. It's like, not to say that it's an easy thing, but not to say that it's not a hard thing, because talking to people and they say, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to do YouTube videos just like you guys. I tell them, don't do YouTube videos just like us. Yeah. Because really there's only the minorities. Preach. And it's like, when you want to mimic everything that you see us doing, you can't.
It's impossible.
Because we're just different. And I can't be you and you can't be me. So do whatever it is that you genuinely want to do. And if you want to take some of our, let's say a topic for a video, we went to Tahoe or played a game at Tahoe. You can do that same game, but add your own twist to it. Yes. Make it personable to you. And that's one of the things that I want the world to know is just like, instead of being like when you guys talked about it on the podcast with Jordan, it's like you aspire to be, let's say LeBron. Yeah. But there's only one LeBron.
Only one LeBron.
Don't try to be like LeBron. Just be you, Brad. Yeah. Just be the best that Brad can be. And I understand you might want to model your game after him, but just understand you can't do everything that he does.
Exactly.
So just, add your own twist to it and just be you. Yeah. Because the easiest thing to do is just be you. Imitating somebody else, that's so hard.
So hard.
So the best thing that you could do is just be yourself and be true to yourself and follow whatever it is your true passion is. Don't just think, oh, they're doing something cool, I want to do something just like that. Yeah. That might not really be your passion.
But they see it working, so they're like, oh, I can make money that way.
Yeah. And the whole money thing is like, a lot of people don't know we don't get paid off of YouTube.
Well, I know.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know, but maybe that's because the content we put out, we get views, 100,000, millions, whatever. But just because you get that doesn't translate into actual dollars. Now, if you can get merch, if you can create a product, now you have the eyes on you. Yes. So create a product and make sure it's a dope product. That's rule number one. It has to be a dope product.
Rule number uno.
Rule number one, it has to be a dope product, and that's how you can make a living. Yeah. And ownership. It's all about ownership. It just all goes back to ownership.
And speaking on that too, I want to kind of piggyback on what you're saying. So I met you guys.
You met me.
I met you at Tigers.
And that was when I was thinking about it on the way here. It was like an RIP Tiger. He was a great friend of me. I'm pretty sure he was a great friend for you. Yeah. And it's like death and life brings people together.
Almost subconsciously.
Yeah, it was like Tiger it wasn't intended for us to meet each other. At all. I've never met you. You've never met me. I've seen your videos. You might have seen ours.
100%. Yeah, of course.
And when what was it? Was it a visual candle?
It was like a candle visual at MLK.
So it was that. And when that happened, it's like Tiger brought us together without him even knowing.
Without even knowing.
And it's like,
And we've known Tiger separately.
Yeah.
And never
you have your
crossed
own
paths.
relationship, and I have my own relationship with him, and it's like, damn, that's hella dope that in a way he brought us together without even him bringing us together.
And it's crazy because that night I was like, is that Jason? And the Minorities, and I pull up on you, and you know, I'm sure you know, in the content creation world, sometimes when you approach people, I don't know what to expect sometimes. Because I'm real personable, and I'm just so down to earth. Like, I don't let nothing get to my head, follower account, viewer account, nothing like that, because we're just all human.
Yeah.
So I approached you, and I was just like, oh, he's like an actually genuine guy. And some people might think what they see in videos is what they get in person, but like you get both, like the best of both worlds. You can be what you are in the videos, and you can also be just an actual normal person, just chill, relax, shoot the shit, talk, you know what I'm saying, chop it up. And when you were so personable and so easy to approach, it kind of gave me a different respect for you, for Zeb. And I just want to say I appreciate people like that, people like you who can still be, you know, who can still be Jason.
Yeah.
And that was so dope. But who would have known, like, I would have met you then, and, you know, years down the line.
Yeah, we'd still be connected.
Exactly. But also, too, what's super dope about this is that I was saying this before we got on camera. It's like when you talk to people, and when you podcast specifically, when you do things with podcasts and things like that, it's sometimes hard to get people to come on the show or to come on your podcast if you don't have a relationship with them. So mind you, if I had met you in 2018, or when was that, 2017, 18?
2018, 17.
2018. If I had met you then, I automatically come up to you, say, hey, bro, hop on this podcast. Let's collab. Like, it's not everything has to always be business.
Yeah.
I like things happen naturally. And you hit me up and said, yo, I didn't know you was tapped in. You watched the Jordan 4 podcast. And I was like, I was actually going to reach out to you guys eventually when I started getting things under, like, getting more guests in there. Because I was like, I value you guys. Yeah. And you reached out.
Likewise, we value you as well.
Oh, come on, man. It's like a give or take, because we both do different things. Yeah. I'll get into that in a second. But it was dope for you to reach out, because I was going to reach out to you. So you kind of read my mind on that. And I remember one thing I was talking with you and Zeb about was the art of collabing. You don't want to collab with someone who does the exact same thing as you. And I respected that, because it's like if you touch into a different demographic, you guys are both benefiting, you guys are both helping each other. Like, I'm touching into your guys' minority demographic, touching into the backyard basketball demographic. And it's like, that's a healthy way to do things. And in the basketball community, everybody wants to just collab for views. But I feel like I like collabing for relationship. If I collab with you, I want to be able to have a relationship with you for years. I don't want it to be a feature. Like, you pay me 50 bands for a feature and I pull up to the video and that's it. Yeah. You know? Yeah, and I know I kind of ran a little bit, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys.
No, I appreciate
for just being always real.
Yeah.
For being natural. You guys are, I tell people this all the time, like, regardless of what content y'all put out, I always say you guys are one of the funniest, if not the funniest people on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
And it's kind of biased, I know you guys.
Yeah.
But I just really mess with you guys' content. It's really funny. It's really creative.
Yeah.
And it makes people's day, man.
No, yeah, appreciate that. I wanted to say something, but you're just going on so good.
My bad.
I lost my train of thought listening to your words. Damn, what was I gonna say?
Was it something I said?
It was something specifically you said that triggered a thought in my head.
Collabing, meeting.
Oh, the like genuine people we've met, and I'm pretty sure you know the same. We've met so many different creators.
Yeah,
and it's like genuine. I would say I'm a pretty good judge of character, even like first intentional meeting, second, third, whatever.
You can sense that energy.
Yeah, I can sense good energy, and in a way I can sense like a good person.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I met you, not to say that I knew, because I don't know, but I had the sense that just a genuine good person, and genuine good people, everybody has it in them.
Yeah.
But you know, some people go through certain things in their life that it's like you're here in the middle, good, bad. Some things bring you down, some things bring you up. I feel like when you're a little bit more successful, you should be in a more good, because you're doing good in life. So you would think that you will become a better person. But sometimes this fame, money, et cetera, gets to people's heads, and they just think that they're bigger, their ego is huge. And it's like, we're all just human.
All just human.
Like literally all just human. It's like views money, that doesn't make you better than somebody else
at all.
And it's like money is only good for people who value money.
Yeah.
Fame is only good for people who value fame. My mom doesn't think that LeBron James or Michael Jordan is better than me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm her son.
Like that, like you're her baby.
Yeah, it's like it only affects those who it allows to be affected by. But that's one thing that I definitely wanted to say. You're definitely a good human. And even like now, you invited me to your house.
Yeah.
That's like it's probably the most sacred thing that you can allow somebody to come into your house, and you gave me a house tour, boom, boom. And it's like, that's a sacred thing. And it's a valuable thing to know that, oh, this Marcellus, he trusts me to give him, he gave me his address. Let me see his house, boom, boom, show me his shoe collection, jersey collection. And it's like, those are sacred things to me that it's like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And it's just a great thing. No, truly.
It's entrusting somebody. Like, you're giving somebody literally your place of where you lay your head at, rest your head. So, I'm just big on that. Like, I'm big on giving flowers while people are here, just based off, I've lost one of my best friends when I was in junior year of college, like 2016. And like, I kind of didn't talk to him as often as I should have. We went, I think like a year or so without even talking. And
what was his name?
Clifford. Went to Burbank.
Clifford?
Went to play basketball. He went to what middle school was that? Fern Bacon.
I was trying to figure, I think I might have seen, was it like on the news a little bit when it actually happened, or?
His death was actually not on the news, but it was like the craziest thing you could think of. It was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys are watching who know, verbatim, I think he got in a car accident, and my boy told me that I guess he tried to get out the car out of shock, and I think he got hit again. And that always stuck with me because I got a text and call from my boy Jalen at like 4 a.m. and we had practice at like 5 a.m. that day at Holy Names, and he was like, "Yo, Clifford just died." Like, that was the text. I got a call from him and then a text. I was like, "What is he talking about?" I thought I was like dreaming, so I get the text and I respond back. I'm like, "You dead ass?" He's like, "Yeah, bro. Like, got a car accident and he died." And before that, I just saw Clifford at the mall. We just exchanged numbers, and he was trying to get back into hooping, and he passed away briefly after. So since that day, I've always made it apparent to give people their flowers while they are in front of you. No matter how annoying it can seem or how repetitive it may become, it's just showing people their appreciation, and I feel like we all deserve it. And that moment right there really stuck with me because it's like, damn, literally nothing is promised. And then a year later, one of my solid friends, not my best friend, like I've known him for a minute, Mitchell, he passed away. And that's how I met my boy Zay, who I film with now, through a funeral. Damn. And yeah, so I'm always just big on giving people their flowers, man. I feel like it's really important to do so, especially people that you love, people that you appreciate and respect. But yeah, man, not to bring down the mood a little bit, man. But I just want to get my spill on that. I kind of want to transition a little bit on some more lighthearted topics.
Fun topics.
A little bit of fun topics, man. So I know you're a big sports guy. Who's your favorite NBA team?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite NBA team.
How dare you be from Sacramento and don't like the Kings?
That's the thing. I lost the love and the passion that I had for the Kings. Probably around, when did DeMarcus Cousins get traded? Like, nah, it wasn't even then. It was before then. And I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, I was like, you remember when the Kings were hella raw at one point?
Yes.
And I don't know, did you collect the bobbleheads that were sold at Carl's Jr. whenever they made?
I did not, but I do have that bobblehead from Bobby Jackson.
Kind of looks like that, but it's a little bit different. But anyway, when I was a kid, I was a huge Kings fan, went to a couple Kings games when I was a kid, and the Kings were something to be proud of. You're in Sacramento. You're in the heart of the capital. This is Sacramento. The Kings are they don't have to make it to the playoffs every year, but they were relevant. They were relevant in a good way. They had good players. The last good player that I could think of when the Kings were somewhat successful was probably Kevin Martin.
That was like 05, 06. That was the last year I think we made the playoffs.
Yeah. So it was all the way back then, and then they had a couple losing seasons, which is fine. I understand you have a couple losing seasons, and then you draft really good players, and then I just feel like it has nothing to do with the players. I feel like it's the front office. When you get these good players, the Bagleys of the world, the Cousins,
Isaiah Thomas,
we
had Seth Curry,
the Tyreek Evans. It's like Tyreek Evans was somebody. His rookie year, he was literally in the top of the class. To average 25 and 5,
bro,
you're up there with Jordan and LeBron.
Come on now,
like
elite company. You're
damn near destined for greatness if you're in this company as a rookie. And for things to happen now, he might have maybe fell off a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure his best season was his rookie season.
Yeah, actually, I think it was.
So, but to trade away these good players is like the Kings front office. It's like you're not even giving me a chance to root for you. DeMarcus Cousins was the best part about the Sacramento Kings. You trade him for, I don't even remember what the trade was for.
Buddy Hield. That was Buddy Hield trade.
Okay, he's solid. He's solid, but he's not DeMarcus Cousins.
He's not DeMarcus Cousins.
But he's solid. And he's a
cool.
great shooter, good two guard, but he's just not DeMarcus. And when things like that happen, it's like, all right, now your attendance is gonna go down, jersey sales are gonna go down. But okay, I understand it. But they're just not a good organization, and that's all that I can put on to it.
You know, it is one of the most stressful things being a Kings fan.
Mm-hmm. You should just gave up on it. I'll be honest.
I thought about it. You know, I thought about you. You might bash me for this. You know, what I thought about rooting for the Los Angeles Clippers. Let me tell you why.
Terrible. You went from a bad to an even worse organization.
But let me tell you why. This is recently. Because I looked at them, I said, dang, no one likes the Clippers. I said, if I hop on that bandwagon now.
Mm-hmm. This was CP3 and Blake Griffin Clippers, or this is
like 2020 Kawhi Leonard Clippers.
Oh, so you want the new Clippers.
You feel me? So I'm like, no one really likes them. So I'm like, if I just join, no one's going to notice.
Yeah.
If I start tweeting about them more often, maybe people, they won't even realize I came from the King side. Yeah. But I couldn't do it, man. I'm too loyal to the purple and black. I bleed it. I will die for this shit.
I don't think they're worth dying for, but personally don't think that's a good decision, Marcellus. You should definitely rethink that one. Definitely not worth dying for. But their colors are dope.
Colors are dope.
I think that's the dopest part about the Kings is their colors. That's probably the cleanest thing. I think their jerseys. I think the last King jerseys that I like it says Sacktown.
Sacktown.
That one's clean.
I got that. Where's that at?
All their other jerseys pretty much trash.
But right here. I got that right here. Sacktown.
Yeah, that one's nice.
It's actually solid.
That one's nice. That's actually wet.
It's hard. Yes, that's tough.
And the old like throwback ones with the Weber one, Kings, boom. Mm-hmm. Those ones are nice, but it's just hard, man. Yeah. And sad to say, but I think Sacramento eventually is going to lose the Kings.
I hope not, because there is, after the collective bargaining agreement in 2024, they're supposed to expand to Vegas and Seattle. So with that expansion would save us.
I was thinking Seattle was going to get them.
Yeah. If there's no expansion, then, in the future, there's a possibility we could lose them. But with the expansion, we keep, which is, I think, good for the city because we have nothing else. But on the NBA side, though, you did talk about LeBron, GOAT James.
Oh, man, GOAT James.
I need you to tee off a little bit, man. Tell people why you think Bron's the GOAT.
Son of Gloria James. I think it was December 25th or 27th, 1987. Mm-hmm. To put it just frank, he's the best. When it comes to, let's say I would honestly say there's four main, what is it called? Stats.
Okay.
So you have points,
yes,
rebounds, assists, and your field goal percentage.
Okay.
Field goal percentage is a big one. I think a lot of people don't care about the field goal percentage, but it's huge.
Very.
You averaging 30 and your field goal percentage is 38.
That's
terrible.
Ass.
Yeah. To put up 38 shots to get 38 points is trash. But I think those four main categories, I just think he's the king at it. Mm-hmm. And to be able to guard 1 through 5 is tough, and he's somebody who can actually do it. Him and I would probably say Magic Johnson are the only two players that I could think of off the top of my head that can guard 1 through 5 just because of size. And Kawhi can too.
I think Kawhi. I think it's closest.
Kawhi definitely can.
Scotty
Scotty was good. Okay, so yeah, there's about
I think about 5 or 6 I can name that could guard.
That top echelon, and his playmaking ability, I think is damn near 1 or 2. Him and Magic Johnson, flip flop, whoever you want to put. Rebounds is solid, but I mean, when you're that big, you're gonna get rebounds.
Yeah.
But I just think those 4 main categories, and the field goal percentage. Now, a lot of people say that, oh, he only has a high field goal percentage because all he does is layups.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It's actually not true at all.
It's not true.
It's not true at all.
That's not true. Because when he played for the Miami Heat, he was getting busy in that post.
Come on now.
Post shot fadeaway.
Come on.
He was going crazy that year on the Miami Heat. And he does do layups. He does do dunks, but that's natural to the game.
Yeah.
That's natural to the game. But he has a 3-point shot. And I just think he's an all-around the best player. Now, when I hear some of the arguments, Kobe was a better scorer of the basketball. He was a better shooter.
Yeah.
I give Kobe that.
Yeah.
He was a better shooter of the basketball, but not a better scorer.
Yeah.
Because LeBron could do everything that Kobe could do, but he maybe couldn't shoot on the level of him. And RP Kobe, he's definitely one of the goats.
One of the goats, man. Right behind you.
But yeah, it's like the only thing you could take from him is I think he's 4 and 6 in the finals. 4 and 6.
That hurts.
It's hard even saying it.
It hurts, bro.
And really, that's the only thing that I can think of. He's had a couple dull moments in his career when they played against the Mavs in the finals. He didn't show up. But
that Mavs team also did sweep Kobe, and they beat KD.
And Dirk was just going crazy that year.
Dirk was unstoppable in the playoffs that year. I couldn't even be mad at
that little post fadeaway he had was nasty.
Unstoppable.
Nasty. And yeah, man, I just really think he's the GOAT. Like, if they're, let's just put it in like 2K rating, he's 100.
The only 100.
He's the only one that's 100. Jordan is I don't even think Jordan's a 99. I really think Jordan's really like you can give him a 97, 96.
Damn.
Truly.
That took a turn. Okay.
No, truly.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
Truly. Jordan's a 97. Okay. Now, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why people think he's 100.
Okay.
He's truly a 97, 96, but his shoes give him +4 attribute.
So the shoes are the reason why he's so great. Like that's part of it.
The shoes and him being the first
to have like,
if LeBron got drafted in 84.
Ooh, wait. So if Bron's shoe had the success of Jordan, he might be like 110 right now. He might have eclipsed the GOAT of sports history, like in terms of just in every single sport for 100,000 years, there will no one to surpass that.
There would be no debate. If LeBron could somehow, some way come up with a shoe, he's already the best.
Come on.
But
I hear you.
The shoe would let him be 104 overall. And at that point, you can't even be in the game if you're 104 overall.
You got to be like a Floyd Mayweather where they can't even put you in fight night.
They can't even put you in fight night because you're just the best.
So then let me ask you this then. So in terms of shoe culture and everything with LeBron and Jordan, I always ask people this too. Not on the shoe side, the basketball side.
Mm-hmm.
My only knock with everyone who hates on LeBron is Bron took that 2017 to the finals. Iljunas Ilgauskas.
How old was he?
Boobie Gibson, 23? Sorry, another technical difficulty, but we're back. So that LeBron team had Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Varejao.
Anderson Varejao. Backup center.
Boobie Gibson, Mo Williams.
Was Larry Hughes on that team?
I think Larry Hughes might have been on that team.
He was solid.
But he took that team to the finals at, I think it was 22 or 23, and played the Dynasty Spurs. Got swept. Not even mad at that. But the only thing that they knock on is that, I can't even knock that. Bron's gotten a team like that to the finals. Jordan has never gotten a team without Scotty to the finals.
And something that a lot of people don't think, they just think, 6-0 in the finals, right? Mm-hmm. Jordan, I think he won his first title, I want to say 33-34.
Year 8, 7 or 8. He was,
because he came in at 21. He stayed 3 years.
I think it was like 28-ish. He won his first ring. That was
28-ish?
That was the first three-peat. That was in 91, 92, 93. 94, 95.
Oh, yeah, not 33. I was tripping off 33.
Then it was 96, 97, 98.
So he won his first one at, let's just say, 27, 28, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he came in at 21. Now, it took him, let's say, 8 years to win his first final.
Correct.
The first 7 years, not to say he didn't do nothing, because getting to the playoffs is, like we said in the past, going to the playoff is significant.
It's an amazing feat. It's amazing.
It's a good accomplishment, but if we're talking about this whole GOAT status, LeBron's 3-6 or 4-6, whatever it is, Jordan didn't do damn near nothing if we want to just use the finals, because that's what everybody wants to talk about, the finals.
Right.
So the first 7 years, Jordan did nothing. LeBron got to the finals, he lost, but he at least got there at age 22, 23, his fifth year in the league?
I want to say it was year 5. I want to believe it's year 5.
Because he got drafted in 03 and
07.
So 4 years.
Might have his 4th year, bro.
That's wild.
OD wicked.
Straight out of high school.
Come on now.
Kobe could never. Kobe didn't even start until his 3rd, 4th year.
Can I give you an outstanding fact though?
Tell me.
Kobe did win his first ring in year 3 with Shaq.
Now that's a fact.
But he wasn't the main guy on the team though. I'll say that.
Now that's one thing about Kobe is, and R.I.P. to the legend, R.I.P. I hate really talking about legendary people in a demeaning way. That's one thing about sports is like they're all just great.
All great.
They're all, I'm not going to say they're better than me because, if I would have went to the league, I didn't know anything. But it's like they're all just great people. And when you compare people, like comparison really takes joy out of things.
It does. Yes, I agree.
We're talking about sports, so...
Sports is compare, and it's opinionated. That's just the nature of it.
Yeah, it's just the nature. But Kobe was not the number one guy he was not the best player on the championship team.
Yeah, it was Shaq. 100%.
And Kobe wanted to leave, or he wanted either to leave or
Shaq go.
Or to let Shaq go.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, but some people might know, but Kobe wanted to get traded to Chicago.
I remember that.
Because he wanted to follow in whose steps?
Mike, Joe.
Now, a lot of people talk about, Jordan came in the league, he wanted to be number 23, this and that. He basically wants to be the second Jordan. Everybody wanted to be Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kobe wanted to be Jordan.
Yeah.
He didn't pick 23, he picked 24.
Yeah.
He rocked the headband, or not the headband, the armband, the little shin guard thing, and it's like everybody wanted to be in that Jordan spotlight.
That's true.
So it's like, and that's one thing that I truly believe. I really think Kobe's better than Jordan.
So you say he took what Jordan did it better?
Yes. If LeBron's 100, matter of fact, Jordan's a 96, Kobe's a 97.
Damn.
And that's really just me being honest and really looking at the game is just Kobe he basically wanted to imitate Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay. But he actually made it better.
So he kind of took
He took the recipe and amplified the recipe.
So he made the first initial Jordan, the retro version was even better than the original.
It's just, but with time, like the ball players now, I think really this is the most skilled NBA.
No
ever.
question. It's no question without a doubt.
You put Kyrie now in the 80s, he's probably averaging 40.
Can I say one thing about that? If you were to put Kyrie Irving in the 80s basketball, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Kyrie fan. I honestly and genuinely think they would try to arrest him on the court.
He's nasty.
They would say, what you're doing is not legal. Like, it's some sort of, like, are you like a wizard? Are you a magician? Like,
he's like Picasso out there.
You feel me?
A true artist.
In the 80s, though, like, imagine Kyrie right now in the 80s. I mean, gosh.
And that was one thing that I think people also have to take into consideration is Jordan was playing good competition, but it was not the competition now.
At all.
Some of those players after the game, they would go be plumbers after. Seriously.
Yeah.
And they were taking care of their bodies how dudes are taking care of their bodies now.
Yeah.
the drugs, the alcohol. Not to say that they're not doing it now. They're doing it now, but the amount of nutrition that they're putting in their bodies to compete at literally the highest level is 10 times better than what Jordan was going through at the end of the day. I think the best person that ever guarded Jordan was apparently Gary Payton, the glove.
The glove, and Jordan didn't really have a problem with that.
So it's like the best defender in the NBA, you apparently didn't have a problem with.
Think about that. Imagine Kawhi guarding Jordan. Imagine prime Bron guarding Jordan.
He couldn't. He
he
wouldn't be able to back down Bron.
Come on.
LeBron's stronger.
Come on.
Quick. He might be a tight bit quicker, but LeBron's catch-up speed, and LeBron got chased down blocks.
Hall of Fame.
He'll get behind you on purpose just to block your shit.
Literally. And you'll know it. You can't do about it.
It's like, so I'd really, like we know, LeBron's really the best.
You know, I never have too much of the GOAT debate because after Kobe died, I was like, you know, I want to just enjoy and appreciate people while they're here. And I feel like we do have 3 GOATs, 3 different eras. But I'm a big LeBron fan. So my only knock to people, last thing I'm going to say on this, because I'm a broken record on this, that say Jordan is better because of the 6-0. Okay, so if we're bringing strictly rings into it, Bill Russell's the GOAT and no debate. It's 11 rings. So we had to stop with the...
He has 11?
11, bro. 11
what
rings.
What years did he play in?
He played in the same year as Wilt Chamberlain played. Will only got 2.
Will only has 2.
Will only has 2, and he has the only game.
He put up 100 piece, right?
The only game that was never recorded. That 100 piece was never recorded, but they have audio like the last 4 minutes of the game or something. I don't believe that. So something's going down to where I don't think he literally had 100 points. I think Kobe Bryant holds the actual record of 81. I think that's the highest we've ever seen because it's on footage.
And you know one thing that what I personally don't like to do, like my top 5 in damn near every sport, I don't include nobody that I've never seen play.
I am not mad at that. I want to hear top 5 then. Basketball, now. Yep. On the spot.
Okay, now realistically, I've seen a couple basketball games when I was little, but I didn't really know what I was watching.
Okay.
I might have just been at the uncle's house and he might have just had it on. But I would say that the year that I probably really started watching and knew what I was watching was when T-Mac was playing for the Orlando Magic.
Wow. Okay.
And Vince Carter played for the Nets.
Okay.
So it's a little bit back there, early 2000s, mid 2000s. So top 5, let's just get Bron out the way, number 1.
Come on now, talk about it.
Number 2, and this is no in particular order because LeBron's number 1, so who really cares?
And after that, it don't matter. Okay.
It really doesn't matter, but let's say 2 that I've seen. I want to put in my favorite players, but I'll just go best.
No, I think your favorite players could be in the best conversation because it's who resonates with you more. Like who is your favorite? It's your 5, no one else's.
Okay.
It's your 5.
Well, then I'll just put in my favorite then.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Bron, CP3 when he played for the Hornets.
Okay.
I loved him. Loved his game.
That's a wild 5. But I'm not mad that CP3 is point guard, so okay.
CP3 for the Hornets was nice. Kobe, he's not my favorite, but I'll give it to him. He's the best.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's in there. Dwayne Wade when he played for the Heat.
Okay, top 3 shooting guard all time.
And then to finally get it out there, Gilbert Arenas.
Jesus Christ.
When he played for the Wizards.
Jason.
You remember that NBA Live? I think it was NBA Live 09. He was on the cover in the gold jersey.
With the stars.
He was nasty.
Jason.
Gilbert Arenas, man.
You just said something so blasphemous.
I'm just giving you my favorite. In a mix with the best.
I can't even be mad at your 5 because it's your 5. But you said Gilbert Arenas is in your top 5 of all time. Yes. I actually can't believe what I just heard, for 1. 2,
yes.
Are you on drugs?
No drugs.
I mean,
I don't indulge.
Are you on the highest of levels of?
Now, it's hard. This conversation, it's hard because when you think of Gilbert Arenas, some people just think of like the whole his whole career, right? Now, really, let's say he played 10 years. He really only had 2 or 3 superb years.
Yes.
So you don't do the whole 10. That's why I say Gilbert Arenas in the gold jersey. That's why I say CP3 in the Hornets.
So you should be specific.
I'm very specific because I know that it's like, really, I should have put Shaq in there. CP3 is nothing compared to Shaq.
Yeah.
But
it's your 5.
It's my 5. And I like to use certain, let's just look at them, let's think of them in their prime. Gilbert's prime is nasty.
It was nasty. Like Agent Zero was nasty. I can't even mad at that.
His prime was nasty.
It was nasty.
CP3's prime was nasty.
Nasty. Dunking on Dwight.
6-foot point guy. Dunking on a damn near 7-foot guy? Come on, man.
I'm you know.
Now give me yours, but give me your top 5 that you've actually seen. Don't give me Kareem.
Okay.
Don't give me Bill. Don't even give me Jordan. Because we didn't see Jordan 96, 97. We might have seen him in the Wizards 2002. But let's be realistic.
So I can't throw Jordan there because I watched Jordan at 8'6". Okay, all right. People that have actually watched up growing and seeing top 5: LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, Kevin Durant.
Definitely.
And that 5th one would have to be that I grew up watching, Allen Iverson.
AI was nasty.
Would have to be in there. He changed the culture of the game solo.
And that's one thing that I want that I love talking about is the actual impact of the game, right?
Yes.
So to me, I think the most influential people in the NBA history, you got Magic and Bird. They did their thing.
Magic, Bird.
In terms of influencing the game, bettering the game.
Yes.
Jordan, of course.
Yes.
AI after Jordan.
Yes.
His fashion, what he brought to the game, the heart. He was damn near 5'11", crossover, all that crazy stuff. And then LeBron, and I think the last person is Steph Curry.
Easy. That's actually on the money.
I think in terms of the actual game itself, on how the game is played, I really think Steph Curry has the biggest impact in NBA history on how the game is actually played.
On the court.
On the court.
I think on and off it goes to AI. On the court, Steph.
Steph's on game is crazy.
I think Jordan might be up there because
he's the first.
He's the first, but he made team basketball obsolete. It was now me ball. Like when Jordan was in his era, everyone was like, "Oh shoot, this is kind of the time where everyone's saying, no, this is my team." Usually you had good teams. Now they're focusing on just one player. I think that started with
he created superstars.
He created like superstardom, like Jordan's superstardom. Dr. J rejuvenated the NBA after the merger, so he's also in there. And besides that, your list is pretty spot on. There's no one else I would add on there. I think that's actually a spot on list. Now, in terms of impact, Steph Curry, I said on the court, amazing. The reason why I said no one can compare to Allen Iverson is because not only is on the court, but it's off the court. His style, his cornrows, his shoes. No offense, no one's rocking Steph Curry's with a fit. People were rocking Reeboks, hoop shoes with fits, jeans, sweats, shorts,
and even the headband, the shooters.
You know what I'm saying? The shooter sleeve, the
and then the pinky, the pinky things.
Come on,
he was going crazy with the.
He was rocking double X shorts, giving 30.
You remember the finger roll?
Come on, man, finger roll. This is, mind you, this is like
he created a move with a finger roll.
The finger roll, he rejuvenated the ghetto, I would call it the ghetto crossover, the hood crossover, to put the hand under, shimmy the shoulders. You can't guard it because it's kind of impossible to guard a carry crossover, right? So I think Allen Iverson is by far the most influential off and on the court basketball player.
Now that you say that, I definitely could see that. I definitely think he gave kids, maybe let's just say kids that were in less fortunate situations, when they look at AI, they think, oh, he's my skin color, he has the same hair as me, he has the fashion that maybe is around me, and I could be just like AI.
100%.
He's not the biggest guy.
Nope.
He's quick, but he's not the biggest, fastest, nor the strongest.
Yep.
And he was dominant. He found a way to be dominant without the three most, to be dominant, you have to have a mix of those three things.
Have to be.
Big, strong, and fast. He had damn near he had some of them, but he didn't have all of them.
He had the strength. He had the speed
for his position.
Yeah, and he was athletic. He was dunking on cats in college and things of that nature. Just didn't take care of his body, which is a lot of greats' downfalls, which is why you gotta admire people like LeBron, people like Kobe. Somewhat Jordan didn't take care of his body that much, but people like LeBron more so. Yeah. But yeah, I think basketball is one of the most beautiful sports in the world. It brings people together. It's the best conversations to have because it's so opinionated. There's so many things you can talk about. It's never-ending conversations. And kind of on this other sports side of things, I want to ask you a couple quick hitters on the football side because I'm not too heavy in football, but I have a football team. But like, to be honest, sometimes I really don't care to talk football because I never play at a high level. With basketball, I play at a high level, so I love talking. I'm so passionate about it. But when it comes to football, I need to know your best quarterback of all time.
The best quarterback of all time or the greatest? Because there's two different sentences. So what do you want to know?
Give me the greatest and the best.
Greatest, Tom.
Tom, easy.
Tom is the greatest.
Easy.
Now the best quarterback that I've actually ever seen play.
Can I guess it?
Talk to me.
Joe Montana.
No.
I
didn't see him play.
I think you're gonna say, give me a division, AFC, NFC.
The two that I'm thinking of, NFC.
Don't say Aaron Rodgers.
It's borderline him.
That's NFC, I think. Right with the Packers, I think NFC.
It's borderline him. He's damn near the no. I won't say that. I won't say that. AFC. The best quarterback that I've honestly ever seen is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh gosh, yes. Okay, all right. I'm not mad at you on that.
He does like literally incredible things,
unthinkable things.
Like
no look passing in a game is insane.
Now the no look pass it's not the smartest thing to do
at all.
Because I seen him do a no look and it went into the into the bleachers. But I think he might be the best quarterback that I've ever seen.
Best talent, I agree.
Best talent for sure. Him and Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is nasty.
He's a dog.
He's nasty.
He's a dog.
He's not the greatest, but Tom definitely go. For real.
I think when it's all said and done, talent wise, size wise, ceiling wise, I feel like I'm a little biased. Justin Herbert has all the intangibles to be top 5, top 3 all time. When it's all said and done, he just needs a Super Bowl under his belt. Just give him one Super Bowl and he's in that conversation.
No.
And it's going to be this year. Chargers to Super Bowl 2023. You heard it here first on the Backyard Podcast. I live and die by that blue and gold and yellow, whatever we're going to call it. Bolt up, baby.
And this is also somebody that said, you heard it here first. KD is coming to the Kings. You heard it here first. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but Justin Herbert, he's definitely talented. He's definitely he's not even top 5. He's top 10.
Gosh, damn.
He's top 10 now.
What?
He's top 10
He's
now.
not top 5?
He's not top 5. I hear
Jason.
so much bias.
Jace.
That your high pitch right there. There was so much bias. And what? He's not that. There's so much bias that but I get it. You're a Chargers fan.
Come on, man.
But yeah, he's top 10. But wow. Herbert, he has the things to get it done, but he's not changing the game. He's not changing the game.
I've heard
Patrick
enough.
Mahomes is changing the game.
I have heard enough on your court. I can't even fathom what you're saying right now. You're saying he's not top 5.
Who's the greatest all-time Charger?
Daniel Thompson. No. Antonio Gates. No. Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers?
No.
Your greatest all-time Charger?
Wait.
What?
No. It's gotta be for how long he was there and his impact with Daniel Thompson. He
is the correct choice.
He made catching as a running back a popular thing. That's a fact. He was one of the first running backs to actually be able to receive passes and run the ball at a high level. The only other person to do that since him, who do you think it is?
I would probably say either Reggie Bush or Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell won one season, caught like 80 balls.
Literally,
those are receiver numbers.
Literally fat. He was catching 80, caught 80 rock. I mean, 80
him and
balls.
Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey went crazy one season. I think he caught 100 balls.
That's actually insane. Because if you're running 20 times a game and catching 100 balls in a season, that's a lot of catches.
Yeah, he was getting a lot of touches each game. He was going crazy.
Now, last football question for you. I need to know the greatest, and this includes the best. Just one answer.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest running back ever. I have my answer.
Yeah, mine's is Adrian Peterson.
Oh,
Adrian Peterson.
Come on, man.
Adrian Peterson. He's honestly the best. He's honestly the best football player I've ever seen play.
Unheard of.
The best football player I've ever seen play offensively.
Yes.
Offensively. But yeah, AP all day.
Nothing he couldn't do.
Literally. He's the fastest at one point, strongest, got jukes, got spin, can run you over, can outrun you. It's literally the best.
And then it's just the injuries. But his prime year, I'll put up against any other running back's prime year.
Yeah, his prime is yeah.
Mind you, his O-line wasn't the best either. He didn't have the best O-line. He was still making it happen. So, AP by far. That's a great answer, man.
Absolutely. AP's him.
Now, I know you're a Niner fan, so I don't even want to talk about the Niners because, shout out Eric Armstead though, man. Niners. Other than that, anyways, not to be disrespectful.
No, yeah, all good.
Not better than Chargers, and yeah, never get better than Chargers. We're actually gonna win more games this year. We're actually gonna win Super Bowl this year, so you heard it here first. And
you guys could go 18-0, 22-0, 23-0. It still won't be a better franchise than the Niners.
That's very true. I can't be mad at that. If we end up playing y'all sometime during the season or during the year, I will make sure to put a side bet with you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I love bets. I welcome bets.
Yeah, I know. Madden, because you play Madden. I know this. I would never hop into that space with you and play, that's what you do. I would never do that.
You give me my flowers.
I'm giving you flowers. I look good, guys. I might be the worst Madden player you've ever seen and laid eyes on. I am absolutely garbage. I'm okay with that.
You're real.
I keep it 100.
You're real.
Keep it 100. Now, speaking of video games, I grew up playing WWE. And I asked you off camera if you actually used to watch the World Wrestling Federation, now World Wrestling Entertainment. Another quick hitter for you, man. I need to hear your Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Now, these are wrestlers that I've seen. I didn't see Hulk Hogan.
What? You didn't watch Hulk Hogan?
He did special appearances, but I didn't watch him during, he's on every Friday. He's on every Monday. Okay. You know what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying.
Now, my top was Rushmore 4, right? 4 that I've personally seen. Oh, man, wrestling was such a great... It was truly one of the purest entertainments at its best.
The early 2000s, it was untouchable.
I would say... The Hardy Boys, so
that's one.
They're one. The Hardy Boys. I like the groups. The groups were hella raw.
Amazing.
Was it called DTX?
DX. D-Generation X.
Yes.
Yeah.
DX. They're up there. I would say Rey Mysterio for sure. Rey Mysterio. He was a man. And last, I would say John Cena. John Cena, I truly feel, is probably, in terms of entertainment, because really that's all that it is. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
I think John Cena was probably the greatest wrestler of all time in terms of everything that he brung. When he's on the show, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, you watched.
That's true.
He brung eyes, he sold tickets, and he knew how to be charismatic, and he damn near brung the hip-hop culture to wrestling.
This is very true.
I would almost say that.
This is very true.
I would say black people damn near watch wrestling because of him. In terms of the hip-hop community.
Gosh, damn.
Oh, I would almost say. Because there wasn't too many black wrestlers, right? You had... But in terms of real hip-hop culture...
I'm not mad at that, though. I remember when John Cena first came, he fought Kurt Angle that first match. And he had tights on. Total different guy. Yeah. He changed his whole demeanor into the rapping John Cena.
And he started wearing the
Thug Life.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the
jean short. You rocking
Word
jean
Life.
shorts?
Word Life. It was Word Life. My bad. The jean shorts with the baggy chain and the jersey.
And then the she was spin.
He was stepping.
He was stepping.
Now, my top 4 is totally opposite of yours. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock. Undertaker. John Cena.
Okay.
Now, I feel like personally, The Undertaker is the greatest I've ever seen. 30 years in the business, box office, always headline WrestleMania. WrestleMania is literally the Undertaker's. That's the Undertaker's show. It became his show.
Yeah.
The record, right?
Yeah.
Stone Cold was the most captivating character I've ever seen. If he came on TV, I dropping everything I'm doing. If I hear that glass
so you
shatter.
watch all his movies?
Movies I watched him, wasn't a big fan.
Why not?
Wasn't the best actor, but in terms of,
but he can act on wrestling.
Great entertainer. And once I heard that glass shatter, I'm like, oh, drop everything. I'm tuned in.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
The Rock, the most best. He's the best spoken person I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Him selling promos is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. When he's able to cut a promo on live television with no script, no one has done it better than The Rock. And that is a fact. He is the number one box office actor in the world today. And that kind of was part of it.
Yeah.
So The Rock, I feel like, has to be up there, man. And John Cena, because he also changed the culture, and that's what I grew up watching. But greatest ever, I feel like, is The Undertaker. The best ever in terms of their prime span, Stone Cold.
Can't be mad at it.
And then after that, it's like 1A, 1B, 1C with The Rock.
There were so many good characters in wrestling. You got the Randy Ortons of the world.
Randy Orton's. Man, you got
the Big Show.
Big Show.
You got the Boogeyman. You remember Boogeyman?
Boogeyman.
He was so nasty.
Nasty ass me. I remember Eddie Guerrero. I'm looking up at the top right here.
Yeah.
Ric
the Hardy
Flair.
Boys went so crazy.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, yes.
Woo!
Legends. And that's one thing about sports, like actual, not to say wrestling is not an actual sport, but the three main, baseball, football, basketball, I think that if they could implement how the WWE creates storylines and creates characters, they're doing it now, they're creating their own stars. Mm-hmm. But like storylines, I feel like there was really only two big storylines that I could think of in the NBA. When LeBron went to the Heat, that was huge, and when KD went to the Warriors. Mm-hmm. Those two storylines, you had to see what was going to happen that season.
You had to see it. It was must-see TV.
And like parody and storylines, it creates such like a, whether it's good or bad, you're invested.
Yes, I agree.
So like WWE was great at creating rivalries, creating these personalities, characters, and whatnot. And that's one thing that I think baseball has died, because they have a lack of storyline.
I stopped watching personally.
And basketball does it the best because you can see the people's faces.
You can see it. It's the most intimate sport in the world.
And basketball is almost like, I said I don't have a favorite team, I have a favorite player. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever team LeBron's on, Carmelo's on, KD's on, that's who they follow now.
Yep.
In terms of team.
Yep.
So NFL, I'm going to like the Niners forever. You're going to like the Chargers forever.
That's true.
People are going to like the Raiders forever.
That's true.
No matter who's on the team, they can go 0-16. I rock with the Niners.
That's true.
So that's one thing that I think sports, they should implement it a little bit more, but I understand the fact of when you build up individuals, it takes away from the team aspect. You know what I'm saying? A little bit.
Yes, especially in football. It's because it's more individuals.
Yeah, there's more individuals, and when there's so much focus on characters and the entertainment, you kind of take away from it's a sport at the end of the day. Things have to be aligned, like UFC, boxing, really UFC. Like Conor McGregor, his storylines are undeniable.
Everybody wants to see him, no matter win or lose. Everybody.
You have to see it.
If you want to see him get knocked out or knock somebody out, it doesn't matter. You want to see Conor McGregor on your television.
You're going to watch all his press conferences. You want to hear his post-fight interview. You want to hear and see everything about Conor. Why? Because he's charismatic. He has a good character.
Yep.
Whether it's good or bad, whether you hate it or like it, he has a good character that can sell. So I think if the NFL could do that a little bit more, they'd be good. Baseball, they're damn near done. That Asian dude,
something like O something.
The guy that plays for the Angels. Mm-hmm. I feel like if he could speak English fluently, I really think that baseball would make a comeback.
Because he's a face.
He's
a baseball.
He's literally the best player in baseball. Like,
it's
plays outfield, he can hit and he can pitch. Dominant at all three.
That's literally insane. Think about that.
He's like the Babe Ruth of this era.
He's like the Kyrie of offense. 3-level scorer, can do it all.
But the only thing about Kyrie, he's not that good. Not to say he's not good at it, but he's not dominant on the defensive end.
No, it's just offense. Just offense.
Yeah, just offensive.
He really had
but Yeah, I think if he was not, he doesn't even have to be American. If he could speak English
fluently. Yeah,
I think a lot of people would tune in, and yeah, man.
I agree. You had some really good points there, man. And speaking of storyline too, I just wanted to throw in there the best storyline in sports history.
Mm-hmm.
In sports
Talk
history,
to me because I can't even think of it.
Is Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. The
What was
greatest
their storyline?
storyline and greatest rivalry in sports.
The greatest storyline, and I've never heard of it. Talk to me.
They are the greatest rivalry and storyline in sports solely because I grew up watching that. And when you think of The Rock, you think of Stone Cold. When you think of Stone Cold, you think of The Rock. They headlined 3 WrestleManias, never done before in sports history. I know it's wrestling and all that, but to captivate and to keep the fans' attention for 3 different WrestleManias and have everybody sell out and be like, oh my God, we have to see The Rock and Stone Cold for all 3 WrestleManias. And in the last WrestleMania, The Rock finally beat Stone Cold.
He finally beat him.
He beat Stone Cold and retired Stone Cold. Like, that was Stone Cold's last match. He said it's going to be versus The Rock. No one knows it but me and him. The Rock beat Stone Cold. Stone Cold never returned to the ring after that. He returned one time, I think, like last year or so for a WrestleMania event. But he hasn't seriously wrestled since 2000, I want to say, in 3 or 2002. But that was Stone Cold's last match in that ring.
So
headline with The Rock.
WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl, right?
WrestleMania is like Super Bowl of wrestling. It's like the pinnacle of wrestling sports. And they headlined it 3 times. No one's ever done that.
Is WrestleMania the one that Undertaker like retired or he got his first loss or something like that?
He got his first loss to Brock Lesnar, but he also, that was his record, like the 20-0, 21-0, 22-0.
Oh, at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
So The Rock and Stone Cold headlined WrestleMania. You got to think, that's a whole year of promo leading up. 3 different times.
That's crazy.
That's so hard to sell the same story 3 times. They did it 3 times. Unheard of. But that's my biased opinion. But yeah, I think they have one of the greatest rivalries in sports history that we've ever seen. Now,
I wanted to ask you one quick thing.
Okay.
I saw you. I put it in your you on IG Live recently. You saw my comment.
I just see it. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to see what you thought about Bradley Beal re-signing with the Wizards for that big contract. Now, I don't really care about the money part, but just him re-signing with the Wizards.
I think subconsciously it's the $250 million, right? But then on the other note, it's like he's a loyal guy. He wants to remain with that team. It's tough because I think he understands him taking that contract. They're still not going to win. And I'm not mad at that because he's not looked at as a traitor. But it's okay to make your money. But then if the team is not building around you, they're not like putting effort to build around you to help you win a championship. It's okay to be like, hey man, maybe this isn't the best spot for me, as a businessman, as a business decision, maybe it's best for both parties to part ways and find him a championship contender team that can cater to his needs, because they haven't obviously done that, and they're paying him top dollar. He's one of the highest paid players in the game. Mm-hmm. With Dame's been to the playoffs. Dame's been to deep in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Bradley hasn't really been deep in the playoffs. No. But outside of when they had John Wall, but then who was in the East? Bron. So, and they lost to IT and the Celtics. But a player getting that amount of money, you're banking that they're going to help get to the playoffs. So I hope that they get to the playoffs this year. I truly do, because you're putting that much trust and effort to somebody, saying you are a franchise player. We're going to try to build around yourself and get to the playoffs. But if you don't get to the playoffs for the next 2 or 3 years, I mean, I feel like you try to find someone that's more suitable for Bradley Beal that can help him have a chance to play for a championship. And I don't think the Washington Wizards is going to be that team for him, personally. Especially in the East right now, because they're not better than Celtics, Sixers, Bucks, Heat,
they'll be
Nets.
lucky to be an 8th seed.
They'll be lucky to be an 8th seed. They're not better than the Hornets. They're not even better than the damn Atlanta Hawks, who were like the 9th seed last year. Yeah. So, or the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's just my opinion.
So I was thinking, right, for him to re-sign there, is it more so he doesn't, you're either in it for the money or the legacy once you get to that
I think
highest
it's the money now.
He's about the money.
It has to be about the money, bro.
I could win 1 ring. I'm not going to be considered one of the top 5 greatest shooting guards of all time.
Nope.
I've never been the best shooting guard in the league while I've been in the league.
That's a fact.
So I understand squeezing out as much money as you possibly. This is going to be his last biggest contract.
I agree.
And maybe after that contract, then he can go ring chase. and be
okay. I feel you on that. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. But it's like, I know, and you can maybe clarify it for me. But when you win a championship and you're not, let's say you're in the starting five, or you contribute considerably, it really doesn't matter. Like, for example, this year on the Warriors team, I would say Gary Payton wasn't a starter, but he contributed a lot.
Very well. He got paid because of it.
He was a key contributor in winning the championship. So when you think of him winning a ring, oh yeah, you were on that Warriors team. I remember.
Yeah.
But like, who's somebody that won a ring and you don't? Jameer Posey won a ring when LeBron won a ring for the Heat. You don't.
Wait, James Posey? I think it's James Posey.
James Posey.
Don't even remember his name.
Yep.
But I know his last name's Posey.
Yeah.
And he plays small forward, power forward, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like players like that it's just so hard, man. It's like, do you chase legacy or chase the bread? But some good players give up the money and they can recollect it.
That's true. I think if you're chasing the ring, it's kind of betting on yourself. But if he didn't do the contract, he would still got like 170 M's, which is still a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But 250 is like, you're in the record books now for one of the highest paid
$250 million
ever. Quarter bill.
For 5 years.
5 years.
That's astronomical.
It's like 50 million a year.
That's
Damn,
crazy.
that's a lot of money. Oh!
That's crazy.
And Dame just signed a 2-year, 122 extension. So
60-year piece?
60
mil a piece?
Mil a year. Highest contract extension in history.
And to see like players like him, like he's great.
He's amazing, bro.
He's a great player.
Dame's really good, bro. I hope Dame gets his shot. I think he had a shot. He had a shot against the Warriors. Without KD.
Yeah, you're just not going to beat that team.
It's tough now. Yeah.
How many superstars do you think are left in the NBA? Real superstars. Not all stars, superstars.
5.
Who?
Steph Curry, Giannis, LeBron.
That's 3.
To be honest, I have to throw this dude in there because when he's playing, he is one of the greatest, if not top 3, top 2 in the league at the time. Kawhi Leonard, superstar.
You think he's a superstar?
Superstar. Winner everywhere he goes. When he's healthy, winner.
You think he's a superstar?
Superstar, bro. Both ends of the ball.
He has that Steph Curry, LeBron attribute, superstar?
Superstar, bro. Anywhere Kawhi goes, they're automatically a championship contender. Toronto Raptors. So I put Kawhi Leonard there at 4. And then for my 5th superstar, I mean, people might knock me for this, but I mean, Kevin Durant's still a superstar. Although he did get swept. Now, 2 more years, that superstar list is going to be completely different. Because then
who's the future superstar?
Because then Luka has to be in there. He is a superstar. Then in the future, you got to look at Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker, Trae Young, Ja Morant. Then you got to look even deeper and go, okay, I don't know if I do Trae Young in there.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young's still fairly young. Then you got to look at players like Bam Adebayo, 2-way defenders. I mean, 2-way basketball players.
You think he can be a superstar?
I mean, he's the best.
You think a center?
He's the best 2-way big in the league.
You think a center is going to be
Joel Embiid, superstar?
You just now said him.
Superstar?
And Joel Embiid, if we're talking in terms of who's the best, he should have been between that first tier and the second tier.
No,
you haven't even said Jokic yet. You said Trae Young before Jokic and Embiid.
No, I'm saying the younger guys. But my first tier doesn't include
Joel's already 29. If you're not a superstar by 29, you're just not going to be a superstar.
He's like 1.5 tier.
1.5 tier. Okay, I can respect
just because the flopping and the availability. Jokic for me would be above him a little bit because of the availability and superstardom. But those are superstars. But like my 5 superstars, that's a premier list. And like Luka, Jokic, Joel Embiid, they're superstars still, but it's like right below that first one. They're not even second tier. They're still first tier. It's like 1A, 1B. Then the second tier is like the Paul Georges, the Bradley Beals, people like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just what I believe personally.
I think the future of the NBA is going to be Zion Williams.
If Zion Williamson can stay healthy, what he does on the court, 27 a game, I think about 50 clip from the field, very efficient.
That's all he has to do is just stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
He's literally the future of the NBA.
And I can condone what you're saying.
He's probably going to be, not in terms of how good he is, but in terms of superstardom.
Yeah.
He can be the closest thing to LeBron. That's
Okay.
truly he was a superstar in college.
I can see that.
There's not too many superstars in college. The last one I could think of before him was John Wall.
John Wall.
John Wall was a superstar at Kentucky.
That's actually a great point.
And that was in 2010.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to really think about superstars in college.
Like superstars.
Like superstardom. Like I want you to have your own shoe in college type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. I'm trying to think. I can't think of nobody else.
You can't think of nobody else.
No. And yeah.
The one that you could say, Lonzo Ball. He had some superstardom to him when he was at UCLA.
But not enough.
His dad had a lot to do with it.
Had a lot to do with it.
But
he
had some superstardom. You wanted to watch his games when he was playing. I remember when they went to March Madness, you wanted to watch their games.
You wanted to watch it, and then when him and De'Aaron matched up, you wanted to watch that matchup.
I remember that game. That was a great game.
That was a great game. De'Aaron did his damn Dougie. Shout out my boy D Fox.
But yeah, superstars, I really don't think there's too many superstars left in the game of basketball.
I think there'll be more in this younger generation because of the NIL and social media.
And you know what I think? I think that a lot of basketball, right? There's a lot of good players.
Mm-hmm.
There's the cream of the crop, the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the Steps.
Yeah.
But really, there's a lot of people that can give you 15.
Solid players.
There's three or four that can give you dub.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rewind 12 years ago, 2010. You either averaged 25 to 27.
Or you was like 7, 8.
And there's not too many people that can give you 15. Like now, I just looked at the stats. Like if you go on ESPN, like the league leaders in points, there's so many people who averaged dub this year.
So many.
A lot.
And they're not even in the top 20.
Go back 12 years ago, there was only 20 people who averaged more than 20.
Which is a prime elite company.
So it's like
crazy.
20. It's like kind of how we said 100,000 back then doesn't mean as much as 100,000 now.
Yep.
Or vice versa, but.
Yeah.
20 points then meant way more than 20 points now. You give me 20, yeah, you're going to get a $100 million contract.
That's fact.
You're going to.
Otto Porter.
Yeah.
He got $100 million.
And he never averaged dub.
It's crazy.
They're giving out these.
Terry Rozier got $80 million, averaging 9. Jalen Brunson got $100 million, averaging 16. So I mean, like money's starting to be thrown out there. So all you gotta do is really be on a good team, contribute, average about 17, 18. You don't get $100 million.
If you can clip 15, you're going to make a great career.
At least 80 to 90 mil off rip, which is it's a lot of points right there. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It's crazy,
man. But yeah, bro. Like I just want to say, we could talk sports literally all day.
No, yeah,
like
bro.
People love talking sports. Like when you're a real sport head, that's like what you love to talk about.
No, yeah.
And I appreciate you for that. And we've touched on a lot of good topics. You made a lot of great points. I started thinking about more stuff. Okay, well, I didn't thought about it that way. And I appreciate you for that too. But yeah, man, I think this was an amazing conversation.
A little bit of debate, a little bit of plotting, a little bit of, collaborating of minds, all that good stuff.
Now, I kind of want to get into the closing section of this pod. And I like to play a couple quick trivia games and mind questions.
All right.
So the first one, you looked at my jersey collection, you saw it's Kobe.
Yeah.
8 jersey.
Yeah.
Who wore number 8 before Kobe? Because you remember you said you're a basketball historian. I want to get your who do you think wore number 8 before Kobe?
Well, you got to figure. Okay, Kobe came in the league at 96, correct?
Yep.
I was born in 96.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but this is publicly information though.
Okay, so this is true historian. True historian knowledge. Okay.
And this person is known.
Big time.
Not big time, but he's in the NBA. Like he's still in organizations today, coaching. Wore number 8 before Kobe. His jersey is actually really hard to find. It's pretty expensive.
Okay, number 8. Give me a
hint.
West, East,
West. He stayed in the West.
He stayed in the West.
Yep.
Number 8 before Kobe. So this was damn.
I'll give you another hint. Rival.
A rival of the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it got to be the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the Kings.
Gotta give you one guess.
Who played on the Kings in the 90s?
Not the 90s. He wore 8 before Kobe, but he's on the Kings like in that playoff run.
Who was it?
Yeah, a guess.
A guess? I can't even think about the Kings in the 90s. Like, I literally can't. But you said that they were in a run, so Vlade Divac?
Nope. It was Doug Christie.
Doug Christie.
If you can find a Doug Christie number 8 jersey for under $500, let me know. Because then I
He's
found
hard
one.
to come by like that?
A 8 Doug Christie
What's
Lakers?
what's his typical number?
13. But I'm saying just to have another number 8 jersey be sold besides Kobe Bryant is unheard of. Doug Christie has a number 8 jersey out there for sale, and I try to get my hands on it.
It was for the Kings?
Pricey. No, for the Lakers.
Oh, he played for the Lakers.
He played for the Lakers and wore number 8.
I didn't even know he played for the Lakers.
Exactly. He wore number 8 for the Lakers before Kobe. And I've been trying to get my hands on that specific jersey, but I can't find it for the right price. So it's a fun fact for you. Not everybody knows that.
I did not know that.
I mean, I didn't know until I found out.
I didn't even know he played for the Lakers. You don't think of Doug Christie playing for. You think of him playing for the Kings.
For the Kings. He wore number 8, this same number 8 jersey for the Lakers before Kobe. Amazing.
Were they ever on the same team?
Nope.
No? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they had to let go of him. It was either
Had to let go.
between who they let go of him for. Who was the guy? Eddie
House.
Jones?
No, Eddie Jones. Yep.
They let him go for Eddie Jones?
Yeah. What number Eddie Jones wear? 8?
Eddie Jones? I don't think he was 8.
No, I don't think it's 8. I honestly don't remember.
Him and Kobe were on the
that's
same
right,
team.
That's right. No, I'm tripping. But it was Doug Christie.
Mm.
Another
Talk to me.
mind question for you. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
How many letters are in the alphabet? No, my bad. How many letters are in the alphabet?
How many letters are in the alphabet? 24.
Incorrect.
What is it?
How many letters are in the alphabet?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Are we talking about that?
How many letters are in
Are we talking about that
the alphabet?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can't.
Jason, listen.
Are we talking about that alphabet?
Listen again. How many letters are in the alphabet?
In the alphabet. Oh, the alphabet. We're talking about the alphabet.
Alphabet.
Wow. The alphabet. Yeah, 24.
Incorrect. The answer is 11. How many letters are in alphabet? I was emphasizing it. Spell alphabet. A-L-P-H-A.
I said in the alphabet.
Yeah, I said yeah, but alphabet has 11 letters, so incorrect.
I think you guys are gonna have to rewind that, and I'm pretty sure he said in the alphabet.
Yeah, I said in the alphabet.
Yeah, in the alphabet.
Like I'm
you
saying,
didn't say in alphabet. You said in the alphabet.
But I'm emphasizing alphabet. If I was saying how many letters are in the alphabet, I said how many letters are in the alphabet. 11.
Tomato. That's basically what you just now did.
Okay. All right.
That's basically what you just now did. Wow.
I gave him a little food for thought there. I kind of did switch the words around a little bit. Now, what weighs heavier? A pound of stone or a pound of rocks?
They're both the same.
Real nigga. Come on, do that, man.
Now, I do have a trick, a mind bender for you. What?
I know you do.
What? And I've actually seen video footage of this. So,
right.
What? Weight, velocity. So let's say you have an empty water bottle.
Okay.
And let's say, matter of fact, let me see. What was it that I saw? We'll use that. Let's say we have a full water bottle and a baseball. You drop them both at the same point. Which one will land quicker? Which one will hit the surface?
Water bottle.
Why?
Density. There's no mass in it, I believe. So like the baseball has to, I guess, catch speed, but the thing that weighs the lightest is gonna drop quicker.
You think so?
I think so. That's my final answer.
It's wrong.
They both drop the same.
No, what's heavier can fall. So you think that if you drop a car and this water bottle at the same time, what's gonna land faster?
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm thinking like, if I drop an empty water bottle from the same height as a baseball, like from elbow height, right? And I drop it, I'm thinking.
So from your standpoint and from your knowledge, if you empty out a water bottle and a full water bottle, we drop them both at the same point at the top of this house, you think that the empty water bottle is going to land faster.
We could try this.
But I'm saying that's your theory. Is
your water bottle empty?
Halfway empty. Maybe even a better test. Halfway empty.
So halfway empty. So
and then yours is totally full.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to the point. Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so I want to test this theory right now. Okay, so here you do it, so it's fair. All right, so we're gonna go. Yep. Can the camera see do the full frame first one? All right, so you're gonna drop it on whenever.
And whatever one hits fast. So you hold them and you tell me which one you think is heavier.
Okay, one sec. Weigh about the same.
Okay, well we need something that clearly doesn't weigh as much as whatever one.
I mean, I think
I would honestly say that the water. Well, let's use your water bottle.
Okay.
Your water bottle.
So he's the
for
heavier
sure.
one.
You would say that this is for sure heavier.
Heavier.
Right? Okay.
Wait, hold on. Yes, the water bottle is for sure heavier.
Okay.
All right.
Same point.
Same
you
point.
would say?
Yep.
Okay.
Tie.
That was a tie.
Okay. So let's hold on. Let's throw this one in there.
Let's say these are even. You would say these were even?
These are even.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Same point.
Same point.
Which one? Now we would have to do super slow mo to see who actually landed.
That was a tie.
But
so it's empty.
But my point was, if they were to come out of a higher, like the top of your house, that would be a high.
Mike.
The point was to see if it's at a high enough value that whatever is heavier would eventually generate more speed.
100% at a higher point.
At a higher point.
Yes,
this really isn't going to do nothing if it's at this level.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So the higher, the heavier product, whatever is floating, whatever, it's going to land faster because it's going to be able to generate more weight times the velocity equals impact.
Oh, okay. You preaching right now.
And
okay?
I only graduated from high school.
You're preaching right now. Okay.
So, but yeah, that was just a quick, little fun fact. If you ever want to, throw that up there.
Okay. That's actually a good
But yeah,
thing.
that one's a good one.
All right, put this back real quick. All right. So I have two more little quick
Talk to me.
things for you. Okay. Spell top.
Top like the top of your head?
Yep.
Use it in a sentence.
Yeah, I can't figure out. He went to the top of the building.
He went to the top
Of the building.
of the building.
Yeah, so spell top.
In that context of the sentence that you just now gave
Just
me.
spell top.
T-O-P?
Spell it again.
T-O-P.
Say it 2 times fast.
Top, top.
Say it 3 times fast.
Top, top, top.
Say it 5 times fast.
Top, 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 top.
We do it at green light.
You said red light or green light?
We do it at green light.
Red light or green light?
What do you do at green light?
Go.
You thought about it too long. No, that's another win. That's
No,
a dub.
I really
That's a
didn't.
dub.
I really.
That's crazy.
I really didn't hear what you said.
That's a dub.
You were talking gibberish. Red light, green light?
That's it. We did a green light.
Oh, now when you say it like that, I can hear it properly. You
Wow.
go. Green is go. Red is stop.
Okay. Hold on.
Come on.
I do have this one that I found on my phone. Are you ready?
Talk to me. This is a comfortable chair, by the way.
Thank you. It's actually, I can sit here all day.
No, yeah, this is great.
Like, no cap.
This is great.
All right. Are you ready?
Ready?
What is the answer to the question? I'm about to mess him up on this one.
I need to know the question.
What is the answer to the question?
What is the answer to the question? what is the answer to the question? The answer to the question is the answer.
That's your final answer.
The answer to the question, the answer to the question is the answer. Yes, that is my final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Listen closely. What is the answer to the question?
Is the answer to the question. What is the answer to the question?
The answer is what?
It's a statement.
What is the answer to the question?
What is the answer to the question?
That's like me saying jeans is the answer to the question. It'd be jeans.
What is the answer to the question?
Is literally the answer to the question. That's the answer. What? It's in the sentence.
These are your Mythbusters.
I got you. I got one more. Hold on. Wait. I got one more for you.
What is the answer to the question?
What is the answer to the question?
Go ask your favorite teacher that and see what they say.
I'm like, hey, let's see. I'm like, Miss Armbrust, what is the answer to the question?
Is that a female?
Yes.
Why is that your favorite teacher?
My absolute. Okay, I can actually say this. She is my favorite teacher. It's like 1A, 1B with her and Senior Garza, two females. They changed my life perspective-wise, faith-based wise, and they gave me a chance. They didn't give up on me when I was going into Catholic because I was a hard-headed kid, always getting in trouble. And they've always took the time to learn more about me and to be more in tune with how I felt about certain things. And they were always able to give me good advice, and they just loved on me even when I didn't love myself. So those two women right there are one of the reasons why I'm here today. They've changed my life outside of my mom, but in school, you're there 8 hours, 9 hours a day, and
that's a long. I was just now thinking about it. That's a long time to be at school.
It's a worker bee because you're training yourself to be a 9 to 5 anyway.
Think of that.
Literally, 8 hours a day, 8 hours of work.
You have school for 8 hours.
As a kid.
Your parents have 8 hours of work.
Yep.
Typically. Now, you get off at 3, they get off at 4 or 5.
And they don't play sports.
If you don't play sports.
Yeah.
So, after that, they pick you up. Let's say you're in daycare. They pick you up. You get home around 6. And now, from 6, you have to eat dinner. You have to do your homework. And then, if you're lucky, you have a little bit of free time to do whatever you want or whatever you're able to do in your home.
Exactly.
And where does the parent to kid interaction happen anymore?
I think it's purposeful. I think they're trying to make kids rely more on outside resources than they are parental guidance. If I can keep your kid in school longer, away from home, we can control more of the things they learn, more of the things they do. Milk, for instance. If I can keep your kid in my school system, under my supervision, we have the power to literally indulge their mind with what we want them to learn. Brainwash them in a way, right?
So I'm teaching my kids something when they're at home, when they're
for the hours, yeah, and the weekend. That's it.
And when they come to you, you're brainwashing them with whatever it is that you teach them. And I trust this school to teach my kid the right things, right?
Right.
And it's like history. What do you think about history?
False. A lot of it is covered up. A lot of it is falsified. A lot of it is dumbed down. A lot of it is not really what happened. For instance, I'll give you one example. Abe Lincoln, right? There's this myth out there that Abraham Lincoln was black.
I've never heard that myth.
I actually have it in my phone. Give me 1 second. I'm not saying I believe it or not. I'm not saying I do or do not believe it, but when I seen it, I said, yeah, I kind of like raise the eyebrow. Let me find it real quick. 1 sec.
Because when I think of Abraham Lincoln, what I learned of Abraham Lincoln, he did something. He was the 5th president, right?
I believe so. I think
or he's just on the $5 bill. One of the two.
I think he's the 5th president.
But his thing, when you think of him, is that he was for freeing slaves, I believe. Correct.
But he was a slave owner.
He was a slave owner. He was for freeing slaves, and I want to say he might have freed his own.
So the Emancipation Proclamation took place 2 years prior to it actually happening. So when he kind of freed the slaves, they kind of just moved up to a different location, I guess, in a sense. So it kind of didn't free nobody. Kind of just let them be more profitable to the world. So I seen this thing on Instagram, and it's a picture. I'll show you this picture of Abe Lincoln, like, right?
This is actually him?
No, so like, I'm about to read what it says. So, like, this is a picture of, like, the African Abe Lincoln, right?
Why does his lips look like that?
Yeah, I don't know. So, and then it says in this passage, Lincoln described himself as having a dark complexion and coarse black hair. His own father, Lincoln said, had a swarthy complexion, black hair, and brown eyes. For some contemporaries, this was enough to confirm that Lincoln was black. British journalist Edward Dicey also noted Lincoln's uncombed and uncombable lank dark hair that stands out in every direction at once, and a few irregular botches of black bristly hair in the place where beard and whiskers ought to grow. So, I seen that, and I started thinking about something. There's also something out there about the Harriet Tubman, that people saying she's a fictional character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Abe Lincoln thing got me thinking. I'm like, I don't know how heavy you are into Christianity or the Bible. I'm not trying to.
I'm a believer.
Okay, I'm not trying to harp anything on you, but
Yeah.
in the Bible, it kind of talks about God's complexion, or Jesus' complexion, and it explains a black person.
Mm-hmm.
But in school, we're taught about white Jesus. Why?
I don't think, well, maybe your schools, but I never went to a school where they talked about religion.
Okay, no, my bad. Not in school. Oh, we're taught.
Public
My
school,
bad.
they typically don't teach.
You're right. You're right. My bad. Not in school. I'm talking about in just society. As
Yes.
kids, we're talking about white Jesus, right? What does that do to African Americans, to minorities? It strips us of our mental and knowledgeable power.
Mm-hmm.
We now think we're not as strong as we once were because we're seeing our leaders are not looking like us. So if they can say someone who's one of the most powerful leaders of all time, in terms of faith-based, Jesus Christ is white,
Mm-hmm.
it strips us of thinking how strong we actually are. In reality, he came from Africa,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if his counterparts and everybody else is black, it talks about his complexion, his hair, feet, black. But we're gonna be like, no, that's gonna give him too much power. Mind you, we were slaves at one point. So for them, I feel like it's part of history. This is actually part of history. They're trying to show us a different level of history that's not glorifying black people outside of giving us the shortest month of the year, Black History Month. And I feel like it's a disservice to our people, a disservice to our culture and our heritage.
This is, I'll save it for after because it was a hot take, and I don't want to go that far on this platform.
Okay.
Because it potentially could be damaging.
Yeah.
But
no,
the one thing that I've heard is Jesus is the European name of his actual name, Yeshua.
Yes.
That is that fact or?
I believe that's fact.
That's fact. Now, why do you think that Yeshua is not what people hear? It's now Jesus. Is it really because the European wanted to kind of not mind trick, but they wanted to hard plant this thought of like Jesus is an easy name to say. It's not to say that it's a white name, but it's like
rolls off the tongue smoother. It's easy to digest
Yeah.
than the other name.
Yeah, Yeshua.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it myself. Yeah, Yeshua. I struggle pronouncing
Yeah.
it. But it's way easier to digest, and that's why I think if we're seeing a different complexion of Jesus, it's easier for people to digest it with their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what's more like resonates with people. And trust me, bro, I'm not talking like from a race standpoint, like it matters, but I'm just saying from day one they stripped minorities, shout out to minorities, they stripped indigenous peoples of our strength and power by telling us you're slaves. And we're going to actually wipe you out because we came here to take over this land.
Yeah.
And we're going to use biblical reasons to do so, which is totally not in the correct way. We're going to use biblical reasons to use genocide and wipe out a whole continent. And now we're claiming it as our own, Christopher Columbus.
And even Christopher Columbus, I've heard. So, coming up as a kid, you learn about Christopher Columbus. He discovered damn near the world, whatever.
Technically.
Whatever. And it's like, you're given this credit. I believe personally, I don't think he discovered it.
Yeah,
I think that he took somebody else's thought or idea, because really that's just a thought or an idea. I discovered the world. That's just a thought. He took that idea or that thought from somebody else, could have been black, whoever it was, and they took it and ran with it as, oh, a white man is Jesus. A white man discovered this world. A white man created these laws and this and that. But it's like, I don't know. History is just, it's written by the winners.
It's literally written
by the winners.
Yes.
So it's like
the elitists.
The elitists. It's written like that for a reason. Now, when you think deep into it, you realize that it's all bullshit.
100%. I love to be blatantly honest about these topics because it's facts to me. I personally don't give two damns about the battle at Bunker Hill.
I've never even heard of that before.
Right? The Hiroshima stuff, the stuff that doesn't kind of resonate to how America was founded and how our ancestors lived. I'm more intertwined with learning about indigenous people, African American history, as well. I like learning about American history too. But all the unneeded stuff, I'm not really tripping off of naming 50 presidents for a actual history test.
Yeah.
Like, when am I gonna say, oh yeah, this is the so-and-so president? Like, when am I gonna use that for a conversation when I'm talking about actual fact? Like, I don't give a damn who the president is at this time. I'm telling you what happened during this time.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have to name 50 presidents for A, B, or C.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. And I feel like schools should be teaching more about economics, more about financial investing. That's what the more important thing is, rather more than history.
And I think not only financial investment, but financial literacy.
Literacy, yes. Yes.
It's when you see commas, decimals, this and that, these are important things to know. And it's like, if you never cashed a check, it's like, you don't even know the significance of a check.
Come on.
So
come on.
Things of that sort are just, but we leave that up to your parents. Well, how could you leave it up to my parents when I don't see my parent until 5 o'clock, and then my mom or dad has to make dinner, has to make sure I get my homework done, and then if I want to go be able to sleep at a good time to wake up at a better time to wake up and be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have to go to sleep at 9:30
every day.
So I have to do it
3 hours with my parents.
And I have to do that for how many years did we go to school until
18.
high school?
About 11, because about 6, 7 kindergarten.
So 5 to 18.
About 13, 12 years.
About 13 years. You're programmed, and I really think that from you're a kid to probably about 24-ish, you're going to, that's what's going to make you.
Because your brain develops like around the age.
Yeah. At the age that I am now, I'm going to learn more things, but I'm not going to differentiate from how I am now compared to who I was at 16 is way different from who I am now.
Facts.
Big difference. So it's just all messed up, man. It's like a big ass rat race, and it's really just fucked up. Like truly.
It is, man. And like I said, we can only do our due diligence to just talk about it, to just enlighten people, and everyone.
And one thing that I think, and it's mainly because I lived and it's sad to say, but I lived the Black American dad story. My dad was in prison for 18 years, my whole childhood. He didn't get out until I was 21. He went in when I was like 2. So I lived the stereotypical black kids or black dad story.
Yes.
And it's like they're trying to take away the fathers from the household.
Of the household. And this is actually historically proven. This is a fact.
A fact.
And I know exactly what you're about to say. And
talk about it.
I actually want to end on this topic too, because this is actually such a powerful topic. Like I said, the African American dad story. 40, 50 plus years ago, which is not that far ago.
It's not
that far ago. They were actually trying to remove the father from the household. For what reason? The father is the leader. He is the mentor of the family. He is the sacred piece of the family. Like he's
the protector of the family. He's the
protector of the family. So if we can remove the father from the household, those kids are going to rebel against the mother usually, right?
Typically.
They're not going to respect the mother as they do the father, which you have respect your parents, but it's a different level of respect for the father of a good family, right?
You almost fear your father in a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
At any age. Like right now, I still have a healthy fear for my father. It's my father.
Yeah.
He brought me into this world. So if we could remove that father figure from the household, Now it's the mother's duty to be the mother and the father to take care of kids. Now the kids aren't having that father figure in their life, which I feel like the father figure is one of the most important things in this world. I talked about it on my last podcast, a few of them back. If you don't have a father figure in the household, there's no sense of leadership. There's no sense of protection. There's no sense of
guidance.
There's no sense of, I feel you like tough love, in which all kids need. Like mothers can give it too, but it's just a different respect you have for your father. For instance, if I got in trouble with my mom, I'm gonna call your daddy, I would immediately snap out of it, right? It's that healthy fear. So what the government's doing, and well, not the government, people in history, well, I mean, kind of like policing, arresting people. They were trying to remove the father from the household. So what did that do for the woman? It made them feel like, oh, we have to be empowered to do more with unfair wages. They were never getting the same amount of money.
And it almost backs the mother into a corner to where you have to rely on the government for any type of assistance.
Welfare.
Yeah.
Stamps.
Yeah.
Social security check. Like, you're relying on the government so much now because they took the father of the house. So now they're like, okay, now you have to vote Democratic. Because you have to rely on us, so now we need you to vote Democratic.
Yeah.
And that's when Democratic, Republican, I feel like it's become too much of a sports political team where we shouldn't be rooting for like Democratic, Republic. I feel like we should just be rooting for our core values, whatever that is.
And that's one thing that I think that if people were to vote, I think you should vote on whatever makes you and your personal family, inner circle, whatever best that.
I fully agree.
Some people will say, oh, you should vote to whatever makes the world better. Well, if I vote to make whatever makes the world better, but it diminishes what I got going on for my kids, my wife, my family, my mom, my dad, it's like, how is the world becoming a better place, but I'm going downhill.
Literally.
So
you're sacrificing your well-being for the world, but then in reality, the world's not sacrificing nothing for you.
And then it's like, how can I go out into the world and do good when I'm struggling? You literally, like, it's hard for people to go out and do good when you're not doing good.
That's a freaking fact.
I can't go out and be a good Samaritan when it's like, fuck, me and my family might be homeless by the end of this month. Can't pay the bills. So now it's like, now since I gotta go do something that's really I shouldn't be doing. I gotta go rob a liquor store. I gotta go sell drugs. I gotta go do this, go do that. Oh, well, yeah, the government, oh, yeah, if that's what you got to go do, well, hopefully you don't get caught. And when you do get caught, we're going to take you out the family. And now that you're out the family, now the mom qualifies for assistance from us, the government.
Immediately. Almost immediately.
It's weird to say, but it's like it almost benefits a single mother to not have the dad in the situation.
Right.
In like a weird way, when you really get deep into it.
It sucks.
Child support, welfare, government assistance, this and that. It's really just, it really, really sucks. And I know there's some things out there like the dad leaves and now it's a single mom. The dad just leaves. There's a difference between the dad not fulfilling his obligation as a father, as a husband, and just going off and being a knucklehead.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and it just sucks, man. It really does suck. That's why the young men out there watching, there's a lot of young men that watch you, watch me. If you're going to create a family, if you're going to create a child, it's in your best interest and in your child's best interest to stay in that child's life. I am against making kids and having another man raise your kid.
100%. Yeah.
That's like,
that's
like, it really irks me when I don't even want to get too deep into it, but
I know what you say. It's a gut punch, man.
Another technical difficulty. If you were hearing the audio for the past hour 15, it was on a computer audio. That is our fault, and we apologize. But now we're back on the microphones. Like I said, his motto is, what is it again?
Two amateurs with a camera.
Two amateurs with a camera, man. It happens.
It happens.
It happens. It's part of the game. So all that matters was it was a great bulk of convo.
Strong.
And very strong convo. You can hear the convo. That's all that matters. But before we get out of here, I just want to end on what I was saying about women, man. You guys are needed. You guys are appreciated. And, you know, we wouldn't be nothing without y'all. Now, like I said, this has been a really good convo, bro.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. It's also been a fun experiment knowing that technical difficulties does happen. we're not perfect, and things happen sometimes. So appreciate you if you gotten this far, bearing with us. We've gave you a lot of meat and potatoes to digest, and yeah, it's been one hell of a conversation. This has been probably my best and most thoughtful conversation. Like, we had to actually think about what we're saying, because we're saying so much fire that it's making one another like, oh wow, actually, let me elaborate. I mean, let me piggyback on that, and then we're kind of learning more stuff within each other, and I think that's a powerful conversation. But one last thing I want to ask you. You have camera 3 right there, look in front of you, and I want you to tell people out there who are wanting to pursue content creation, who are wanting to pursue entrepreneurship, who are wanting to pursue merchandising.
Yeah.
Give them some words of advice.
Words of advice. This camera, right?
This camera right there.
This camera. I would definitely say, before you worry about the money, worry about your mind. Before you get the money, get your mindset right, because having money with no mindset, you'll go broke.
Quick.
You'll go broke. And you see not a lot of athletes, but you see some athletes, they were rich and went broke. I believe there's a good 30 for 30 on Rich Go Broke or something like that. And some pretty big athletes were on there, because why? Most likely either they got fucked over by
like accountants and
all that. But sometimes it's their mentality.
Yeah.
So get your mentality right first. I would say get your mentality right before you do anything. Before you dabble in girls, before you dabble in women, business, sports, get your mind right. Because mental strength, I think that's one thing that Kobe touches on, right? Is the mind is so strong, you could be sick. But if your mind is strong, you can damn near fight off that sickness with no meds, with nothing, just mentality and rest.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I would go out there and say, get your mind right before you focus on your pockets. And, relationship wise, men, women, we're here to work together.
Yeah.
We're not here to bring each other down. We're designed and built to be together, to work as a family unit. And that's one thing that I want to put out there, is that the family unit, mom, dad, kid, all of them are so important. And yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on here.
My guy.
And it's gonna be even greater when Zeb comes on.
100%, man. I'm excited to have Zeb on here too. And in the future, we got to do it again the right way.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like I said,
both of us on here.
Both of y'all on here.
Yep.
And by then, we'll have a bigger setup, a bigger room, and everything. But yeah, man, I'm just thankful for you to come on here. And then, of course, speaking in the future, it's going to be dope to see a year or two from now if we get to have another conversation, just to see where people's mindset is at and see where life is taking us. So
for sure.
Yeah, bro, I guess I appreciate you, man. If you're watching right now, make sure you hit the like button, share, subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, hit that follow button to show love. But this is another episode of the Backyard Podcast. Jason, one hell of a guest, one half of the Minorities, and we will have Zeb on here soon. But I appreciate you, bro. And
I appreciate you as well.
Like I said, man, great conversation, man. Hard to come by, but my guy, it's all love, man.
Yes,
with all technical difficulties, man, I appreciate you staying here rocking with us. But this is another episode, and we are out. But before we out on 3, we have to say something together.
Something together?
Yeah, so I say on my reaction videos, it's you dig on 3.
So you dig on 3.
A nice emphatic.
You dig?
Yeah, like, you feel me? I mean, we can keep it Sacramento.
Oh, we could put some little twang in there.
Oh, put some little thing in that thing. Wait, I said thing in
collar
that
a little
thing. Is that
bit.
how you say it?
What?
I said thing in that thing. That's kind of pause. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
My bad. All right. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You dig?
You feel me? You smell me? You lick me. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, all love.